Rumble, YouTube, family, what's good? What's happening? Welcome to Ironwork 92,000's True Earth Friday, Psych, Flat Earth Friday, y'all. Look at that. I'm so good, I fooled myself. It's Flat Earth Friday, y'all. Welcome to Friday night. We are here doing it for the first time. Flat Earth Friday, y'all. And it's a little bit, let's see, it's in between time. So typically I start at 10:30 on a Tuesday. The Ghost starts at midnight 30 Eastern time, right? On a Friday. And so I'm doing 11:45-ish, 11:47, forgive me, on a Friday. So some of you guys are here. Man, let me say what's up to the fan. Ooh, we got a full house. Maria, what's happening, sis? All right. Hey. I know a lot of people are watching Sav right now. Sav's out there kicking ass. So I figured I'd get, hey, Erica. Hey. Grandma used to say, what's going on, E? How you doing, sis? It's good to see you. It's about time. You be showing up. You be making that cameo appearance every once in a while. It's cool though. All right. So the Akinator, what's happening, bro? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Yeah, so I figured I'd do a quick shout out and a salute to my man Ghost of Judah Tribe. Judah be doing Flat Earth Fridays, but I be yearning myself for Flat Earth Fridays because I feel that's too much of a gap in between time to leave open. So figured I'd hold it down a little bit and just wait for the Ghost to get back. I mean, it is football season, so he's going to be occupied with the Bears and everything else, but at least in the meantime, since I ain't partaking in, the football festivities or any of the other sports, I'm going to focus my attention and my time to the true flat earth, whether it's Tuesday or Friday. My focus is making it to these 2 days. Y'all know what I'm saying? So back in the house, Grandma used to say, it's always good to see you. Rethink Inc. What's going on, bro? Yeah, the Bears. I know. It's good to see you, man. And it's good that you guys are coming in, flowing in. I mean, you guys could be anywhere on Friday. Y'all could be, especially the dudes, we could be knee deep in some craziness, having a good old time. And the girls could be doing the same thing, right? But we tend to be here on Friday. Yo, I'm not gonna be too long with the formalities and everything else, but yo, oh my goodness. Everybody give me a 1 if you have seen the latest on Candice Owens. Give me a 1 if you have. Yes. 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Y'all could go ahead and just put it in the joint right here. If you've seen the latest from Candice Owens. The Akinator, Maria Walker. Okay. Okay. Grandma used to say, okay. Oh boy, this is gonna be pretty interesting. With the Akinator. Yes. Yes. The Akinator. Yes. This is going to be interesting tonight. So this one is going to be pretty interesting. Okay. All right. So 1 for yes, 2 for no. Oh man. Oof. Okay. Rethinking, man. All right, man. Hold it down. Yeah. Yeah, Maria Walker. It's gonna be one of them episodes, and it's a Friday too. So I got a lot of time. Like the schedule for tonight. So guys, strap in your safety belt and your thinking caps because we're gonna go knee deep tonight. And it's gonna be so. All right. So if you don't know, here we go. So if you don't know, Candice Owens, ever since she was terminated from the Daily Wire, she has been on her own. And so as Candice got terminated, my thing was, hey, that's a revelation. We know what time it is. We know the type of people that was running the Daily Wire. And so if you don't know, let me bring you up to speed. The Daily Wire is a show that's run by the S.O.S, aka the Synagogue of Satan, aka Y'all know who I'm talking about, the fake ones. You know what I'm saying? So the synagogue of Satan, they're over there and they run the Daily Wire. They also at that time employed Candace Owens. Candace Owens, Irish Judah tribe. What's going on, Irish? Okay, as I say with an open mind, hard to believe, but I've learned some disturbing things recently, wondering how far the rabbit hole goes. Okay, Irish Judah tribe, I would love for you to share. As a matter of fact, if you'd like to get on and share that with the rest of us, I would go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the invite link. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy. I'm going to drop the invite link in here. Okay. I'm gonna do that solid for you, Irish Judah tribe. If you'd like to get on, and then you can share that with not only me, but the rest of the group. You could verbalize it so you ain't gotta bust your fingers over there doing that. You could flap your gums instead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pin this to the top. Pin message to the top. There it is. All right. Okay. So yeah, Irish. Let me go ahead, finish this thought, and then you come on, and then we would like to hear what it is you got to say. So, as I was saying, the Daily Wire employed Candace Owens. They also had on their payroll Ben Shapiro. If you guys don't know Ben Shapiro, he's the dude. He's the kind of the small guy, and his voice kind of sounds like this. And he always says, obviously, us Jewish people, blah 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 blah. And his voice kind of sounds like this, and he's kind of nasally. He's kind of a little mousy dude, and he got got the little hat and stuff like that. You know who I'm talking about. So he's mad. He's just like that. Candace Owens, since the January 7th craziness went down, right? October 7th craziness went down, excuse me, in Israel between Hamas and that country. Candace Owens has been speaking out, but I think she'd been speaking out prior to that with the whole, Christ is King, Kanye West craziness, and just seeing how the the synagogue of Satan, Tony Coriolis, bro, what's happening, family? It's good to see you, man. But it's just seeing how the synagogue of Satan reacted to it. So I think when she did my opinion, when she was Christ is King thing, that was like the litmus test from her to see how they would react. And boy, did they react. They fired her ass. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is I want you guys to remember a couple of things, right? One of the biggest is something that's quite telling to me. This being that the synagogue of Satan and the Daily Wire, they had no problem anytime Candace Owens went up there and started speaking bad about black people. They had no wire anytime, they had no wire. They had no problem anytime Candace Owens went up there to speak on the synagogue of Satan's behalf, right? Every time, but the thing is every time she went in on black folks, they had nothing to say. Them dudes was quiet as church mice. Quiet as hell. They ain't have nothing to say. But now that Candace is free and she's left to her own devices, she is dangerous to them, at least. She's quite dangerous. But the thing is, I love it. I absolutely love it, love it, love it. To chill the fuck out, bashing him. Rethink Inc. Okay, but before I continue, Rethink Inc. says, hey homie, it was cool. It was cool. Jaren acknowledged I was telling people to chill the fuck out on bashing them. Okay. Okay. So there it is. All right. So we have that. Now I'm going to present to you guys this. All right. So I'm going to stop popping my gums. You guys get to see it for yourself. So this right here is Candace Owens with Rabbi Shmuley. Rabbi Shmuley is a very well-known rabbi, and he's very outspoken. He lies harder than a Simon and Garfunkel song. You know what I'm saying? Lie, la, lie, lie, la, lie, 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 la, lie. That's what I mean. But anytime I say that, that's what I mean. That means that the individual or the individuals in this matter right here just lie like a motherfucker. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to present that to y'all. Let me stop popping my gums. Here it is right here. Share. And let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. This is going to be Candace Owens taking on Rabbi Shmuley. Now, check it out.
About Michael Jackson. who is relevant
Oh, by the way, she's on the Piers Morgan show, who's going to serve as the mediator for this debate. So let's check it.
to this debate. Both guests will get roughly equal speaking time and a chance to question each other. Speaking of the other guest is not encouraged. Ad hominem attacks are strongly discouraged. But knowing these two as I do, I can make no promises. Returning to Uncensored, host of the Candice podcast, Candice Owens, and the author of the Israel Warrior and the Michael Jackson tapes, Rabbi Shmuley. So welcome to both of you. First of all, it's great you're doing this. You've had a public feud for a couple of years now. You've torn into each other in various forums.
Yo, before we let this thing ride, Candice is okay. You, man, just watch. This is crazy. Just watch.
This is your chance to take each other on. And at the center of this, as I said in the intro there, is a very serious global story. The chance to make an opening statement. So, Rabbi Shmuley, you won the toss. We didn't really actually toss, but you both agreed you can do this. You go first. Your opening remarks.
Thank you, Piers, for having me. And Candice, thank you for debating me. I have spent my life bringing together the Black and Jewish communities, emphasizing that we share not only a history of shared persecution, but promise.
You know what? Now, this is, I had to stop it right here. Hold on, family. Hold on. I'm going to be real with you, okay? I grew up in New York City, in Brooklyn, to be exact, not the city like Manhattan. Yo, real talk, when it comes to there is a book even called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, that being the Synagogue of Satan, the fake ones. All right, man, I'm gonna be real with you. These people do not give a fuck about Black people. I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep it square. Now, does that mean individual ones or onesies, twosies? Absolutely not. I'm not making a blanket statement. However, when you go to places like 13th Avenue, when you go to places like Eastern Parkway, when you go to them spots like Ocean Avenue, Ocean Parkway, over in Brooklyn, them people got their own shit. Cool. I'm not a hater. I'm not hating. They got their own stuff. Great. That's nice. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for them. But when they see us, them motherfuckers ain't got nothing but smugness for us. There was a time where Brooklyn and New York City was hot. The block was hot because of these motherfuckers over there. They used to treat us like shit on the regular. So when you got people disingenuously coming out like Rabbi Shmuley saying, oh, we share this and we share that, listen, if you ain't Black and you don't know, you need to listen up, because these people don't give a goddamn about Black people. They don't give a fuck about Black people. They don't give a fuck about us. So don't, and that's why I'm so happy this craziness is coming out and people are starting to call them outside their goddamn name. You know what I'm saying? I'm so fucking happy. I'm so fucking happy, because all they want to do is talk all this shit, right, about how we need to help them and we need to support them. You know what? We tried that shit. We tried that shit during the civil rights movement. And this is what I believe, right? Like, you hear motherfuckers like Bernie Sanders talking about, oh, I was there during the civil rights movement. I marched with Dr. King. I was over there. It was me. You should have seen me. I was out there. The Selma riots. It was me. I was there, you know? And I'm like, you know what? You disingenuous fuck. Yeah. There's a lot of people that were just like him in the Synagogue of Satan that was out there marching with Black folks. Now, here's another thing that a lot of people don't know. When they're out there on the street with Black people, they're there not to help. They are there to harm. They're there basically putting themselves in place to observe. They're not there to fuck, because if they really was about some shit, them motherfuckers would be there to provide money, to provide everything to help Black people and this and that. But they're not. They are there to observe. So then that way they'll know exactly how to properly position their community so they could have the leg up on us. And that also means if they need to spill the beans, which back then it was like spill the beans to motherfuckers like COINTELPRO. They had no problem doing that. They had absolutely no problem doing that. So let me tell you something. When you see a motherfucker like Rabbi Shmuley talking that shit, give him the side eye because he's totally fucking disingenuous. He's totally disingenuous. If you really want to know some shit, take a look at the NAACP. Look at how many of the synagogue of Satan actually was there to watch it begin. They're part of the foundation. Why? You think it's there? You think they're there to help black people? I'm not sitting here begging, and internet gotta be bad for a little bit. That's just how my shit is. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it is. But anyway, I'm not there begging. I'm not there asking. I'm not there doing this or doing that. But look, if you plan on allying up with a group of people, then that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be there to be boots on the ground to help motherfuckers, because I'll tell you what, that's all black people have done since we've been here in this motherfucker. I'll tell you what, and a lot of people may not agree, but this is what the goddamn truth is. Everything that America is supposed to be, the black movement is. Everything that America's supposed to stand for, this is what the fucking the whatever, if you want to call them foundational black American, fine. The original the black people here, good. Yes, the people going through the struggle and the civil rights, and before that, Jim Crow, Reconstruction, sharecropping, all that shit that fucking foundational blacks had to deal with. They represent the American spirit, what America is supposed to be, what America strives to be, what America oftentimes presents themselves as, the struggle, the rebellion. The rebellion out of the ashes, just to make yourselves greater, stronger, smarter, better, faster, right? That's what black folks do. That's what we've represented. This is no matter how fucking much we get kicked in the teeth, we get back up and we push harder and we go harder and we're just better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying anything to be against anyone, but if you just go back in time, right? And you look at the black struggle, you just look at the black struggle, and you just look at what America claims that it is in unison. No, the backs of the blacks. That's exactly what that is. Seeing what black folks have to go through, what we have to go through oftentimes. And I'm not saying that I'm unlucky, right? I'm plenty fortunate for what I have. But can it be hard for a brother? Absolutely. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It can be. It truly can be. But the fact of the matter is that though we've had it tough in this country, we always find a way. We always find a way to push and push and push and push and push. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not here to talk about how hard black folks have it. But what I am here to talk about is how disingenuous the synagogue of Satan is, especially when this motherfucker twists his mouth up to start delivering that fucking bullshit that he is, to talk about how the blacks and the Jews, no. Do not put this fucking black struggle in your mouth, please. Do not. Do not. Because the first thing they did, as soon as Kanye started saying the truth, right? Oh, he was like, oh, and the rest of his motherfuckers, what did they do? What did $600 million out of his fucking bank account, just like this. Nobody wanted to fuck with Kanye with a 10-foot pole. Everybody was at odds with Kanye. Even, let me tell you how tricky these motherfuckers are. They even had black people go up against Kanye. And I'm like, yo, first of all, where did Kanye go wrong? Those of us, whether you black, white, green, purple, orange, red, doesn't matter. If you knew he was telling the truth, you had no problem with him. You had no problem with him. And then what's his name doubles down, puts that movie Hebrews to Negroes up, the basketball player. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that didn't want to get the cocoa. And then they kicked him off the team. And so you had a bunch of Jews get on his back too. So the synagogue of Satan is spread thin, just attacking they're attacking the people that don't fall for their bullshit. They're attacking the people that sit there and then they start saying, having questions about things like the Holocaust, having questions about things like what they do in the media, what they do in the judicial system, what they do in the banking system. When you question these things, they call you anti-Semite. Anti-Semite, right? They have all these fucking names for us. But you had Kanye West, you had Kyrie Irving, that's his name. These guys were doing nothing but telling the truth. And when you see, this is how bad these motherfuckers are. Because when you tell the fucking truth, you shame the devil. And when the devil is ashamed, what does he do? He wants to attack you. But how is the truth being in it? And that's what it is in America now. This is how poisoned people's minds are. And I sincerely also believe that they're part of the flat earth deception. I sincerely believe that. Like, I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like a little bit of a stretch, but if you connect the dots, that flat earth deception could, like, look at Albert Einstein and motherfuckers like him. That flat earth deception could very well lead to the synagogue of Satan. And I'm not just saying that it's them alone, but more than likely that group of folks and those people within that community is likely behind the bullshit. I hate to I know it sounds fucking wild, but they're more than likely behind that bullshit, man. So when I hear this motherfucker come out his face and saying the black community, we with the black community, we marched. You want to know this is one thing I learned. If you're not pulling money out of something that's harming you, you're not doing anything at all. You're not doing anything at all. So you got this motherfucker talking about we marched. Let me tell you something. Jews ain't stupid. They're not stupid. You know what they do? If they feel you're disrespecting them, they're gonna pull their money fucking away from everything that involved in, and then they're gonna find a way for you to stop being monetized. Whether that's you losing your job, whether that's you losing an opportunity, losing a channel, losing what are those things? Not commercials, but you know, like Adidas sponsors, losing sponsors. Adidas didn't want to fuck with Kanye no more. So Kanye did a chess move on him and was like, fine, you won't sell my ugly ass shoes no more. You can't sell my Yeezys no more. And then Adidas is stuck there with a whole warehouse full of ugly shoes that they can't sell. So he pulled the fucking move on him. Which, you want to know something? Even if Kanye walked away with $15 million, he's still lucky. He's still lucky. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is that when the people start coming out to tell the truth, these motherfuckers are lining their asses up to strike them down. They're lining their asses up to. Let me go back to the video. I apologize, y'all. I had to get that off my chest because this fork-tongued ass motherfucker over here they call Rabbi Shmuley is totally full of shit. But here's the thing. We're in a new day and we're in a new time right now. So when you see these motherfuckers talking out their face, lying, like they like everything, man, everything these motherfuckers are involved in a lot of times. And I'm not talking about all of them. That's a blanket statement. I'm not saying that. But you have the synagogue of Satan that does shit like this, and they will lie to your face. And the thing is they will continue the lie until you fucking believe it. You can know it's a lie, but they'll just keep saying it until you believe it. Let's go back to the video. Let me shut my mouth, man. I'm over there popping my gums. Back to the video, y'all.
Today we debate an American tragedy, a woman of unique eloquence who has abused that eloquence to become simultaneously the foremost anti-Black rhetorician in all of the United States and the foremost anti-Semite in America. The statements that Candice has made against her own community, that they cry wolf and constantly say that they're victims of racism. Her attacks on George Floyd, a man who was suffocated to death for a $20 counterfeit note, saying that he was a horrible human being.
And this is what they do. This is their strategy in divide and conquer. So keep your eyes open. Whether you believe him or not, this is what these motherfuckers are really good at too. And they've been pitting us against each other for a long fucking time. A long fucking time. So listen to this motherfucker. Now he wants to be in league with Black people. Man, look, do not trust the fucking snake, because that's all motherfuckers like him are. This is the synagogue of Satan in the flesh. And you get to see this motherfucker animated right here. Let's continue.
A woman who went up in front of CPAC and said, I was never a slave in America, as if that's the only form of discrimination, is what has led her community to call her not Candice, but Clandis. The first ever female Black woman who appears in her rhetoric against Blacks, calling LeBron James dumb and stupid, an icon to the Black community.
Oh, so now these guys are buddy with us. Now they are friends. Now they all are friends. You see this motherfucker right here? You see how slick this motherfucker is? Keep your eyes open, y'all. Just keep on watching.
As Clandis. Simultaneously, you have the Jewish community beginning to call her not Candace Owens, but Candace Ovens, because her Goebbels-style rhetoric against Jews, that Jews are nearly all pedophiles. The state of Israel will set up a Theodor Herzl, a pedophile.
Okay, so where's the lie? My thing is, as you listen, where are these lies from? There is something called the Talmud, correct? That speaks on these things, correct? Correct or incorrect? So where are some of these lies? Just keep on listening, y'all.
A haven for pedophiles. That Judaism is a demonic, satanic cult that only protects pedophiles. And by the way, her absolute obsession with Jewish,
and that's the truth. That's the truth. If you part of the synagogue and say you get busted for Pedialightness, you can run back to that country and they will protect your ass. Time and time again, they have done this because in their eyes, this is what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. I've read it to y'all time and time again. They've said in their own Talmud, if you grape a goyim and anything outside of the shit that they do, the shit that they believe, and the way that they live is considered goyim, right? It's for the goys. We're the goys. That's us. We're beasts to them. So you can grape us. You can violate us. You could steal from us. You can even kill us. And to them, it doesn't matter. It's water off a duck's back because this is what their fucking book believes that they follow. And if they don't follow it fully, they follow it to some degree to where they're like, oh, I could lie to you. So it doesn't count for you because you are a beast to me in my eyes. Let's continue.
Sexuality and Jewish genitalia. The first lady of France, Brigitte Macron's genitalia, is disturbing. It's one of the reasons I think she hates Sigmund Freud so much, because she's a Freudian field dream in terms of his arguments that the greater the sexual suppression and repression, the greater we see violence. But when you say that the Jews killed JFK because he was about to ostracize Israel, when you invent...
That's that. Not only did there was a good chance that they offed JFK because he did not want them setting up a nuclear reactor or nuclear potential in Dimona. Currently, Dimona is in Israel, and that's where the many Black, I guess you could say not Hebrew Israelites, but Black Jews live in Dimona. But what do you think Israel's been doing now, especially recently? They've been kicking the people of Dimona out. They've been kicking them out of Israel. Where the fuck are they going to go? These are Black Jews that live in Israel. They've been kicking them the hell out. And nobody says nothing about it. Anyway, let's continue.
All of these fabrications out of whole cloth, what is the result? The result is the demonization of Jews that leads to violence. Pierce, just 1 week ago, 2 days after Candice falsely accused me, as she has for 2 years, of being a murderer, of threatening to kill her, something for which she will face legal action because you cannot malign a rabbi and his daughter as murderers. 2 days later, I was swatted in my house where 5 police cars had to break into my house because Mayor Michael Wilds of Englewood, New Jersey, received an email arguably from one of Candice's followers after she said essentially what Henry II says, "Who will rid me of this troublesome priest?" which leads directly to the murder of Thomas Becket, who today is a Catholic saint, of course. We were swatted, and the FBI is now investigating Candice's rhetoric. They're investigating
Rabbi Shmuley, I'm interrupting because you've now been speaking for 3 minutes.
One final point.
So Candice will get exactly the same amount of time. It's up to you, but
So if you don't know, they've got Candice Owens under investigation, right? They've got her under investigation by the FBI. How the fuck do you think they got that to happen? How the fuck you think they got that to happen? This is why when I say shit like these motherfuckers are in charge of the judicial system, look at that. This motherfucker has enough power and influence to get them to go after her. It's fucking Candice Owens. She says what the fuck she says, however which way she says it. It's America. You know what I'm saying? But these people, they know the system because they're like so well intertwined with the system. They know the system so well. They know who to call and they know how to get it on their side to fuck you over. And so this is what they're doing to her. Let's continue.
It's an opening statement, right? And what I would say,
may I just say finally, if I may?
Well, if it's quick,
The biggest issue I have with Candice, to be honest, is that she claims to be a Christian. Candice, didn't Jesus say you're supposed to love your enemies? Is the love you show me that you call me filth twice on the last show that you did with Pierce a piece of filth? You're supposed to love your enemies. Is that turning the other cheek? And Pierce, you're an English gentleman. I've known you for many years. You allowed her to say that without even a piece of filth. When Jesus said that you're supposed to turn the other cheek, where have you ever turned the other cheek? When Jesus said that the meek shall inherit the earth, the arrogance, the nonstop attack against Jews, the demonization. If you are a Christian, then I am the second coming of Christ.
Okay.
You know, like I love how now he wants to talk about Christians and she's bashing Christians. This dude is a straight Jew. These motherfuckers do not like Christians. Okay. In case you don't know, Jews do not like. Matter of fact, they despise Christians. And if they catch you in Israel as a Christian, they will spit at your feet. They will spit at your feet if you are a Christian. Am I defending Christians and Christendom? That's not what I'm doing. I'm giving you facts right now. This is what they would do. And people like him, they do what the fuck they do so that they can divide and conquer. Do not trust what this motherfucker says. Anytime you see motherfuckers like this moving their mouth, assume that they're lying because chances are they are. Let's continue.
That's 4 minutes you've spoken to. Out of fairness, Candice, if you want to use 4 minutes to respond, all I would note, Rabbi Shmuley, is you've spent 4 minutes personally attacking Candice Owens. I set this up as a debate about what is happening with the Israel-Hamas war, anti-Semitism, and so on and so on. You've turned it all completely, immediately, into an ad hominem onslaught against Candice.
How could you possibly say that? You are speaking to a woman who says the Jews are a ring of demonic pedophiles, and you're saying that I have no right to defend my people. You know, Pierce, you have to stop this once and for all. There was nothing ad hominem at all.
All right.
When Candice says that the black community
you've had your say.
is a bunch of crybabies,
okay.
Everything I said was policy. I could not disagree more.
Candice will now get the same amount of time, if you wanted, Candice, to respond.
Thank you, Pierce. And I don't think I really do need to respond to the ad hominem attacks. I think actually one of the things that plausibly unites people across all religions, Muslims, Jews, Christians, is that we all recognize that Rabbi Shmuley is unhinged. He's just mentally, in my view, unwell. And I don't say that as an attack. I say that as just a reality. Because I've never seen someone just make things up out of thin air that were never said. And trying to screen that as a defense of Black people. The Black people will never accept Rabbi Shmuley after Michael Jackson put him on a list of people who he felt were ruining his life. So you can.
Okay, if you don't know about that, what Candice is talking about, that's a whole separate topic altogether. As to how Michael Jackson died, the stresses that he was undergoing, that motherfucker on the right, Rabbi Shmuley over there, my hand is in the wrong direction because this is mirrored, but right there, that dude right there, Rabbi Shmuley, is like part and partially responsible for Michael Jackson actually dying, right? Because there was a lot of debate as to how Michael Jackson died, which we know it was his doctor, right? The guy, like he was a Jamaican dude. But Rabbi Shmuley was heavily involved with having Michael called a pedophile. Michael called this one, going after children, doing all these crazy things that Michael had nothing, he wasn't doing nothing like that. But another tactic of them, they will listen, this is exactly what they do. And I'm going to give you a story here later on. But yes, exactly, Maria Walker. Yes, Revelation 3:9. That's exactly it. Yes, no longer on the balls, right on the money. But what they will do is they'll lie on you, right? And this is what they do all the fucking time. They will lie on you, say that you're a Pedialyte. And then now, because you're not a Pedialyte, now you have to defend. Now you have to defend it. You know what you need to defend it? A fucking lawyer. And a good one. And you want to know what one of their lawyers is? Probably one of the synagogue of fucking Satan. So now you have Tony Coriolis. Let's add you to the stage, homie. Hey Tony, what's happening, bro? Don't hold on. I'm still dropping my thought over here. I'm still dropping my thought.
Yeah, you good? You good?
What you have is you have these motherfuckers. They're gonna sit there. They're gonna lie on you. Get the laws on you. Once you're in court, now you have to pay a lawyer that's probably one of them motherfuckers to defend you against one of them. You don't think these motherfuckers ain't got the ends on the goddamn courts? You don't think those lawyers talk? And then all they're gonna do is fucking just drain you, drain your financial resources. Your resources are just gonna go. You're gonna spend so much time paying shit like student loans, student debt, and fucking court fees just trying to defend your name, saying I am not this Pedialyte. I'm not this type of person. This is not me. And then now they have to prove something that's never even been there. And then you wind up knowing you want to know exactly what happens. You want to know what happens? Flats, what's going on, homie?
What's up, man?
Coming in here, boy. It was Flats,
Yo.
man. Looking good, man.
So, yeah. What's up?
So what winds up happening is as they start to strip you of everything, you're under investigation. The FBI takes all your hardware and all your freaking hard drives and everything. They comb through it. After they find that you're totally innocent of whatchamacallit, totally innocent of Pedialyte, you know what they're gonna say? They're going to be like, well, you didn't pay your taxes. That's 1. 2, you missed your taxes by $4. 3, Saab, what's going on, homie?
Hey,
man.
Everyone's showing up.
Coming in, right? So as they strip you of your resources, and then you're there trying to defend it, the FBI is going to be like, okay, you didn't pay your taxes in 2023. You didn't, even though you didn't get busted for Pedialyte, you watched too much porn. So now what they're going to do is they're going to put your business out on the street, even though the reason you're in court in the first place is for Pedialyte affiliations. That you have no business being there for that because you didn't do it. But the thing is you need defense of some sort. And this is why they're smart. They have the fucking judicial system on their side. And so this is why Rabbi Shmuley's doing what he's doing, because Candice Owens, I don't know what her pocketbook size is like, right? I'm not trying to act like I know, but I'm going to assume that she's doing well for herself and her family, right? She's been doing this for a little bit, so she's done well for herself. But he is going to take her through the ringers, make her go to court, have to spend money on defense on shit she didn't do. And you want to know what this resembles? This is exactly what it resembles. The earth we live on, right? What is it? We know it to be true, flat, and plain, right? As soon as these globers come out, they're like, well, prove to me it's flat. You're like, how do I prove to you something that has always been flat? How do I prove to you that it's flat? It just is. You just want to play this fucking game. So now I got to go in fucking circles with you to try to make this fucking point. Excuse me. My bad, y'all. Go ahead, man.
No, for sure.
But if you think about it, they proven their positive claim yet of the globe?
Right.
So why do we have anything that we need to prove if they haven't proven their claim yet? This is what I said last night as well. They can't claim. They want to play the burden of proof onto us with, oh, if you don't believe in gravity, then go ahead and, replace it. But what can we replace if you haven't given validation for your argument yet? We don't need to replace anything.
Yeah, I just say chill with it. I mean, we're in a way better spot than them. Don't forget that or let that slip your mind. We're way better.
They have a positive claim that goes against observable and demonstrable reality. Okay. Therefore, they have the burden of proof. Okay. I don't have to prove what I observe, what I experience. Okay. That's evident. All right. Your claim goes against that. So therefore, it requires proof. And this is why they freak out, because they don't have any. Their only gig is getting you to try to prove a negative. And you're like,
no, nothing new ever.
Right.
That's true. That's
I mean,
true,
like when they always say, I'll ask them, I'll say, do you have any demonstrable proof or evidence that gravity has any effect on air. And they say the pressure gradient. And I said, well, can you prove that that's because of gravity? Okay, now the way you're going to have to do that is you're going to have to demonstrate through a demonstrable and repeatable experiment air being pulled down by gravity. That's what you're going to have to actually demonstrate. So, like, I don't know how you do it. Take a vacuum chamber, release some gas in there. There's some air. Does it fall to the bottom of the chamber? No. Why? You said that it was gravity pulling that down.
Now, that those are the truth, and those are true points. And this is exactly what we're talking about. Is that no matter how much truth you bring, it's like as if you're bringing this truth to everybody else, and nobody gets it. All they hear is the loudest voice in the room. I.e., for example, this guy right here on the right with his eyes closed, Rabbi.
Yeah, like this show clip right here, because I'd never watched this, and I just know I like Candice. I got nothing against Candice. So this guy coming on the news like that, saying Candice slandered him. When you said that bit about Michael Jackson, what have you heard? Have you heard a lot on that, Ironwork?
So that's a good question because, like I've always heard.
They did a whole investigation and nothing came up.
Yes,
you know?
and here's what's crazy about that, right? Now, excuse me for going wild right now, but when the FBI has you dead to rights, they got you. They are not, the FBI are not the police. Like the FBI will let you fuck up for a whole like 10 years straight. They will let you just dig your own grave. And then when they're ready to get you, they'll find ways to coerce you to make you a rat, to make you work for them. But if you don't want to play the game with them, they're like, all right, we done. We did our 10-year investigation on you. We've got all the evidence stacked up against you. You're going to jail.
Spent so much money on it. Yeah.
Yes. And when they have you, racket. Yes. When they have you dead to rights, they have you dead to rights. That's it. But the thing is they tried that with Michael Jackson. Even the feds had nothing on him. And that's a really good point, Tony Coriolis, because these things I knew, at least that much I knew, the public doesn't know that. So Michael Jackson goes down in history as a pedophile ? Or Michael Jackson with the asterisks.
I only really heard it because the Hibbler guy, you know, level and next level, Sean Hibbler, you know him, yeah? Yeah. So he's talked about, and it's like he's talked about it a couple times on him going on shows and stuff. But if you go and look on Eddie Bravo's podcast, it's on any podcasting app, and you look at in the early episodes of it when Sean Hibbler was first on with Eddie, he talks out the Michael Jackson thing, and I don't know, I don't want to talk for him, but there's a whole thing on how he like kind of faked his death type of thing. And if you listen to his albums and stuff, it's very enticing. And he literally had a song like, this song's for all the lost children. Like his music is pure if you go and listen to it. So I don't know. They definitely probably put him on a list and then threw everything at him. And then I don't know. It's very interesting to hear, though.
That stuff is interesting, but I mean, as far as what we know, and let's just assume that Michael Jackson is no longer with us these days. But as far as we know, like something happened. He's gone. Now, Rabbi Shmuley has tapes, and people have evidence of him plotting against Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how deep this rabbit hole goes. But Michael Jackson, you know, I guess this is now around the anniversary of his death, I think it is, or maybe it was earlier this year. I forget. But it was his birthday. It was his birthday recently or something like that. But this is why this is coming out now. And Candice Owens is like the one to do it, right? She's like, I've got a very powerful voice. But without further ado, let me go back to Candice Owens. I know I'm flapping the gums. Let's go back to the show.
Can stop your pleas with Black America, they won't work. Now, going back to the context of what you've asked us to speak about today, you know, I think one of the things that the world is recognizing and what we've always recognized is that there are radical fringe sects that break out within every single religion, amongst every race. There's white supremacy, there's Black supremacy, there's radical Islam, there are all of these Christ cults around the world. And I think right now it's important for people to understand that radical Judaism is also a thing. And you're watching an example of it right now on your screen. The person sitting across from me or sitting next to me, I guess, posted on his Facebook page in 2016 a tribute to someone who he said was his mentor. That was Rabbi Menachem Schneerson. He said he was his mentor and his friend. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Rabbi Schneerson, there were some Jews who believed that he was and is the Messiah. So rejecting Christ, but believing that that rabbi was his Messiah. Now, you may remember in the news recently, there was this radicalized faction of the Lubavitch Orthodox community in Brooklyn that were.
Go ahead.
I just have to point out about Candice Owens that you guys have to be very aware of her. She likes to just put names out there about people that's got nothing to do with the argument. So people that don't know what is actually going on is just going to trust her because it sounds like she knows what she's saying.
Yep.
In the meantime, that person she says has got nothing to do with the actual argument.
No.
Just have to point that out to you guys.
No. So Rabbi Schneerson. He's got a big giant beard. I've seen him in the annals of Bibi Netanyahu speaking with him, saying stuff. I have no idea. I don't even know what the translation said.
I think I just saw a tweet or a Facebook post by Whitney Webb about that guy. I thought, what a weird name. I had never heard of it before, but that stands out. I think Whitney Webb posted something about Schneerson here just today.
Whitney, okay. Okay, Whitney Webb is another journalist that I've been hearing a lot about.
She's a bulldog.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. That girl, I don't know how she finds time to sleep.
Yeah, she's all over the place. I mean, in a good way. She's not scatterbrained or anything, but she's one of the names that I've been hearing about. But now, Rabbi Schneerson, I'm thinking might be of some kind of importance. To what degree, I have no idea. But she mentioned, don't forget, y'all. I was in Brooklyn when that shit went down. The tunnels down in the Chabad Leibovitch temple, right? So that synagogue out there in Brooklyn, I drove past that joker. It was a day after.
That's within the year, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That happened.
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, that might have been May. I think.
I thought it was March. Okay, it was actually March. Yeah,
it was March. Okay.
Episode with Ben Balderson when I was on vacation. Yeah.
Yep. So it happened then, and like I drove down. I think it's on Eastern Parkway, if I'm not mistaken. But I drove down Eastern Parkway, and I saw the police out there, but it wasn't any police. They were all Jewish. I sat there and I looked at them. I looked at their name tapes, and I was like. I was like, okay, that's not a traditional American name. And I was looking, I was like, they're all like this. I was like, all of them are. I was like, well, what the fuck, man? Excuse my language, but I was like, yo, all of them, really? So what do we expect to happen? Do we expect any justice to happen? Because when you saw the videos of that nonsense going down, and if you don't know, they were digging tunnels underneath that synagogue. Now, that's important. Here's why.
And all those mattresses too.
And all mattresses that look like one of them. Somebody said they looked like it had a doodle stain or a blood stain or something like that. Now, this is why it's so important. You've got to think. A lot of times, people that live like this in New York City, nobody really messes with them. Unless you're from that culture, nobody bothers them. They have everything their own. They have their own shit set up.
Yeah.
Right. And so, how long have those tunnels been there? How far out do these tunnels extend? That building has been there since the 1800s. It's not like this is just a run-of-the-mill type of building and they just put it up. It's just been erected. It's been there for like almost 200 years. You understand what I'm saying? So now you have this almost 200-year-old building sitting there in New York, got tunnels. And the thing is New York itself is an old place. It's an old place, as we're starting to learn from all these people with the old world and everything. How long have these people been running this kind of game? And so you have their own kind of people, their own kind of police, everything else showing up with a bunch of gosh darn cement trucks, and then nothing to see here, folks. What happened with those people that was smacking the shit out of the damn NYPD while they was over there? And ain't nobody had
Epstein's Island. Epstein Island just got cemented, and we're done with this, you know? And I've even talked out how, like, so I'm Tony Coriolis, then I gave my middle name as Almanac. In the Almanac, dude, they got all the 2020, you know, the Rona stats and everything. They just locked those away. These are the stats, guys. Like, the stats are bogus. If you go check out the almanac stacks on the 2020 thing, you know, you got to be all, you know, not really talking about it. But yeah, check your almanac on what they say the statistics are for who got the juice. You know, those are, dude, they're way off.
Really?
Totally. But just as like everything else, you know, nothing happens. They just lock it away. This is the fact. And even Sav, when you said like, just no matter what, they got nothing new. Like, their response is always like, it might as well just be, well, the textbook says this. Like, that's what it kind of is talking to them. I just like that everyone here is all real. I was just going to hop on to talk about the Michael Jackson thing. I'm going to be off. And I wanted to do a little shout out to just if anyone's going to be in Atlantic City next weekend or in South Carolina for Flattoberfest, I'm going to both. There's like 2 big meetups going on.
What's in Atlantic City? There's a meetup in Atlantic City?
Is Zulu, if you know him. Zulu 1.
Oh, yeah. I know Zulu 1.
Yeah, Zulu 1 is doing a meetup in Atlantic City. So I'm going out to that, and that's this next weekend. A week from now, I'll be there.
Nice. Okay. I'll start running to the ocean and swim. I'll see you guys in about 3 months.
Nice. I'll see you there.
Let's hope the current brings you over to our side. It'll end up taking you to the Caribbean, probably.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that and Flattoberfest. Sav, are you going Flattoberfest?
No, probably not this year.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted to say I just found a thing on Candice Owens' Twitter. She posted a thing that this Rabbi Shmuley put up there. And he says thank you to this guy that says to him, "Well done, Rabbi. You did fantastically against Candice despite stacked odds. Her unfair use of a laptop and peers being blatantly in her corner. Candice has a big following and anti-Semites are very numerous. Don't let the masses sway your mind with their comment spam. You won the debate comfortably, and fair-minded person with half a brain can see this. Some great wounds were scored upon her. This is, I pray, the beginning of the end for Candice Owens." And this whole thing, and I see down here where Piers Morgan put out that let me see, 1 million views of what we're watching right now. 1 million views.
I don't agree with that. Hours. Because I don't think Rabbi Shmuley or Candice did a good job, to be honest.
Yeah,
Rabbi Shmuley. Oh well,
it's kind of just a typical news story, typical tweet that you just read and everything. Yeah, it's all typical bullshit. So that's why I just wanted to shout out those 2 in-person meetups. Everyone in this community is cool. So I'd like to meet y'all at some point.
Yeah,
I know. I think Brian Stavely's going, so you might be.
Yeah,
able to see
totally.
him.
He is.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, fellas. I'm out of here.
All right. Hey, Tony, be safe, man. Have a good one.
Later, dudes. Good to see you all.
All right. Peace. Yeah, man. So, I mean, you know, even though the debate, as far as it being a debate, may not have been to your satisfaction, I seriously think these people need to be called out. They totally need to be called out, and this needs to be discussed. It needs to be talked about, because time and time again, I can't tell you how many times Americans are just fooled once again. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me thrice. Americans consistently get fooled with the same BS. There are brothers, there are sisters, they're this, they're that. And it's like, no, man, they lie. They're the ones that caused freaking the USS Liberty. They're the ones that oftentimes get us in these freaking wars that we have no business being in. And they sit back and they watch our own people fucking die for nothing, right? And here's the thing, when it comes to the Liberty, I've spoken about this time and time again. They still have yet to pay for it. They pay a little bit of money. Well, guess what? We pay them billions of dollars. They gave those people like $2-3 million. And every time those people from the USS Liberty still have an anniversary, it's like they're going to a funeral every single time. All they want is justice. And none of these cowards that we have in the damn White House are going to fucking have enough backbone to back these troops. You had what was it? A total of 172 injured, and 34 dead. Right? Or it was 34 injured or 172 dead. I might have the numbers mixed up, but it was enough. Sailors, Marines, and civilians killed in the USS Liberty incident. In the USS, and so it was what? June 8th, 1967, this went down. And all these people were killed, and nobody is held to account. Still to this day. And you still have people that are alive for it. Anyway, let me go back to this. I'm kind of going off topic. Let's get back to the bit, y'all.
Well, and by the way, this is per the Times of Israel. That faction of individuals are followers of Rabbi Schneerson. So again, you have Rabbi Shmuley who believes that that's his mentor. They believe that he was the Messiah. What is it? It becomes important to understand, what did Rabbi Schneerson preach? Well, he preached Jewish supremacism, the hatred of all non-Jews. And you don't have to take my word for it, because if I said it, they would say that's anti-Semitism. You should instead take the word of the two Jewish professors who translated his work. Those authors' names were Israel Shahak and Norton Mezvinsky. And their book was entitled Jewish Fundamentalism in Israel. From that book, we learned that Shmuley's mentor, Schneerson, describes the difference between a Jew and a non-Jew. And he says, quote, "Thus, we do not have a case of profound change in which a person is merely on a superior level. The body of a Jewish person is of totally different quality from the body of all nations of the world." And he talks about the substance of the Jewish body versus the substance of non-Jews, saying that the inner quality, quote, is so different and so great that the body should be considered completely different species. So that is a belief. And you can go through his speeches and you will see that he continually talks about how non-Jews should be treated, and that, again, we are a different species. This is what Rabbi Shmuley believes in. We have to come to terms with the fact that there are Jewish radicals, and it's incumbent upon the Jewish community to call them out. That you brought up by rhetoric about Black Lives Matter, the organization, and which was basically allowing Black criminals to take to the street to burn down, to loot, and to riot in the name of racism, because it shows that I'm on equal footing here, that across the board, I do not support supremacism, whether it's coming from my community or whether or not it is coming from yours. And I think the entire world is now paying attention and wondering, what is going on in Israel? What is this government? Is this a radical fringe government? And many people are concluding that the answer to that question is yes.
Okay.
It's about time. You don't agree with that? Go ahead, tell me.
Because has she given any evidence to support that there is some weird government there going on? Because like she said, she doesn't have it going on. Yeah, because no, like some weird fringe government. Because she hasn't brought any evidence that there is. Like she says, she doesn't have the evidence, so she is kind of putting it out there. You understand? So it's more or less just on an opinion than based on facts. That's what I'm saying.
So right now she's providing her opinion, which Candice, when it comes to providing facts, she comes with them. She just doesn't start talking out the side of her neck. She comes with them. So because that's a good question, because that's a dangerous walk to take if you're just going to talk that mess and you ain't got no evidence, especially
if she can back it up. Then that's what I'm saying. If she can back it up with fact, then that's cool. Otherwise, it just shows an opinion. But there's definitely something going on. I'm not saying there isn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I don't trust those motherfuckers at all.
Yeah, it's easier just to make it seem more than it is for dramatic effects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this dude, Sav.
Yeah, I see him do that kind of shit all the time. What did I watch? We watched the thing with that Oliveira character doing. He went to Aurora to find out about the gangs, you know, and the way he pieced it together, it was just like nothing, but he was really trying to piece it together like there was something, you know, and you could tell it was just like, you know, you're just trying to sow a narrative, you know. Listen, I agree with a lot of this. There are a lot of Jewish supremacists, and they're not hard to find. You don't have to pick out any particular one that do actually believe this nonsense that all the Goyim are going to be their slaves under a one world Zionist government or Jewish government. And they preach this. Okay. And it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. They certainly do. You see, and they are actually actively taking steps to make such a thing true. In a sense, it has already been done here in the United States. If you're a 14th Amendment citizen, a U.S. citizen, then by all means, yes, you are a slave and ultimately under the control of that yoke via the Federal Reserve Bank. So, hey.
And you know what's funny It's funny that you mentioned the Federal Reserve, because do you want to know when the U.S. decided to get off the gold standard? They started this in 1933. Not just is the number 33 there again, right? 1933. Guess
Well, that was when they took the gold currency away.
Yeah, when
They
the gold currency
it still had gold backing
Well-
up until Nixon put us under the OPEC, the petrodollar.
But
you
it
see,
was
that's where they're
when
clever, though.
that's
where they're
when
clever, because they're keeping the gold for when everything crashes. Then it has a significant value again. And who's the ones with all the gold?
with all the gold.
I don't think they have it anymore. I think
'cause
that they're
Fort
guarding
Knox.
a big lie at Fort Knox. I don't think there's shit in there.
Fort empty. But
You go there, it's like just a whole bunch of demons sitting there partying.
right.
Yeah.
They're
All
sitting there
these
playing
guys out there
Uno.
thinking there's gold in there and shit. That stuff's gone, baby. Long
right.
time ago.
They're sitting over there playing Uno and shit. But I mean, it was 1933. But check out who the chair of the Federal Reserve in 1933 was, and who the subsequent chairman of the Federal Reserve have been since 1933. It will knock your socks off. And it has a lot to do with the stuff that we're dealing with these days. And it has something to do with what we're watching with Candice Owen right now. Good one, Jono Edwards. I think Jono Edwards knows what I'm talking about. I think Jono Edwards down here knows is putting down. He understands what it is. At least I'm assuming, right? Because you could look back at that time and yeah, you'll see for yourself. And it gets interesting from that point on. But let's continue with the vid real quick.
Eugene Black.
1933. Check him out. Yeah, check him out.
That's what it says. Eugene Black was the guy's name.
Check him out. Hold on. I'm going to continue with
those are the two opening statements. Rabbi Shmuley, let me ask you this. Where are we now with this war? Because it seems that the people inside Israel are now beginning to come after Prime Minister Netanyahu, angry that his mission to save the hostages is simply not working. We saw 6 more executed at the weekend. Obviously, that's on Hamas. But the relatives of other hostages are saying, for God's sake, bring back the hostages before it's too late. And there's no sign of any deal being done to do that. And there's a lot of pressure on Netanyahu. Is his mission statement failing?
Yes, I will answer that in just a moment. But Pierce, your guest just called me mentally unhinged. She called me filth twice in your show.
You just asked him a question.
You did not just say to her, Candice, can you stop the ad hominem attack?
I know.
But you see that?
Yeah,
I've seen this a lot though, and especially Robert Smith. I've seen this last time, even with Mohammed Majab and stuff. Mohammed Majab did exactly the same. Every time someone was asked a question, they roll to try and obfuscate to something else because they don't want to answer the question. That's exactly what he did now to Candice.
Yep. And Pierce is just letting him ride, man. He's just like, I gotta give him props. This is the most tame I've seen Piers Morgan. I don't know if it's because he's getting old or what, but I've never seen him like this.
But I've seen, because he has experience in this, he tries and lets people say things because he knows they dig their own hole. So he does let them do this kind of thing.
Okay. Let's continue.
Tax, did I ever say anything? I stuck to policy. Can you at least just be fair and say that's unnecessary, Candice, or is this too against law?
Well, no. You spent 4 minutes lacerating her.
Calling me mentally unhinged, is that
you're sitting there to defend that charge?
Is that ad hominem?
You spent 4 minutes attacking her personally. She's perfectly entitled
Pierce,
to
with all
return
due respect, when one of your guests calls someone else filth, I think that you, as an English gentleman, should step in. But let me answer your question.
Preposterous.
No less. The only thing of Christ that Candice Owens has actually fulfilled comes from Matthew chapter 10, verse 35, where Jesus says, I've come to separate and create conflict between a woman and her mother-in-law.
You know, I find it interesting that now he wants to start doing things like quoting the New Testament, where a lot of times folks within the party of the synagogue of Satan, they will say, oh, that doesn't count. That's a BS book. It doesn't count. It means nothing to us. So I find it funny he's using something like this to further divide You know what I'm saying? And to use that against her. Let's continue.
And father-in-law. My answer to your question about Gaza is that Lord Michael Farmer, a courageous British peer who happens to be Candice Owens' father-in-law, issued one of the most robust and beautiful defenses of Israel that any of us have read since October 7th. He said that, of course, there's a lot of terrible Palestinian casualties. God loves every Palestinian child as much as he loves a Jewish child. He said that Israel has no choice but to fight this war because Hamas hides in residential areas and under nurseries. He said that Israel, the savagery of October 7th, demands a response. He said that Israel is doing exactly the right thing. And he said that he's doing all this in response to a, quote, high-profile member of his family. The contempt to not even mention his daughter-in-law, Candice Owens, because he didn't want to say her name. And he didn't even say, I love my daughter-in-law, but because the British remember Hitler, they remember the Battle of Britain, they remember the V-1 and V-2 rockets. Candice Owens has actually now said that the Nazis were the good guys and it was the allies, the British, people like yourself, Pierce, who engaged in the ethnic cleansing of 12 million people based on some documentary she watched called The Savage Peace on the BBC, which wasn't even about the Allies. She always distorts. It was about the Czechoslovakia, a country that no longer even exists. And as far as what she said about Michael Jackson putting me on enemies list, that is a total fabrication. It was invented by someone named Dieter Wietzen.
You know what? Listen to that. Listen to that. And then she's just listen. Now, this is him defending himself. This is him defending himself against the whole Michael Jackson thing, but just pay attention. Yeah, right. This motherfucker, he doesn't care. He's just going to lie. He doesn't care. But just listen.
It comes second nature to him. But their body language gives them all away because they're such, I don't know, what do you... demonstrable people, you know, they're constantly with their little gestures and shit. Once you start dissecting Jewish hand gestures and body language, you figure them out in a minute, man.
You got them dead to rights. You like all these motherfuckers do is just lie. They
always go like this before they lie. A lot of them, they always go like this before they lie. Put their finger up across their face like that, and then they tell a lie.
They start lying.
Yep.
Ah, dog, man. Let's continue.
Who sued Michael Jackson for $64 million, tried to shake him down, and Michael had to pay $4 million. I worked to save Michael's life. Candice Owens never met Michael Jackson. I was his rabbi for 2 years. I love him. I missed him. I tried to get him off of drugs. She said that I killed him. And talk about the contempt for people struggling with addiction, that she would say the Jews killed Michael Jackson. And with all due respect, Pierce, you have not said that one of those things, that I'm a murderer, a man who doesn't have a speeding ticket, who doesn't have a parking ticket, is a murderer, and the police have to come
to
the
these
FBI
people whine or what? That's all they do is fucking whine. They're all the time whining. Every one of their holidays is about fleeing away from people and shit. You know, it's always about being persecuted and fleeing and being a victim. It's just like professional victimhood all the time. I swear to God.
And then he throws himself in the middle of it. And then what he tries to do, he tries to rope other people in it so we could like play at our own throats. And it's like a consistent thing. And it's like, man, this dude, he doesn't care about anybody else. Doesn't give a damn about anybody else. And then he's going to say, oh, the Christians, oh, the blacks, oh, the British. It's like, you know, you really don't give a fuck about any one of them, to be honest with you.
No, it's so like what they can do for you. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's like, yo, why are you even putting these people in your mouth, man? You don't give a damn about any one of them. Let's go back to that bit.
Here's what I'm going to say to you, Rabbi Shmuley. Once again, you've just singularly failed to answer my question. So if you're just going to continue every time I ask you a question about the war, which is the point of the debate, to just launch into Candice or her family or whatever, that's your decision. But in the interest of fairness, every time you speak for 3-4 minutes, well, hang on. I'm not going to let Candice respond. If you want to, Candice, look,
yeah, because she's been quiet as hell. Yeah, she's been quiet as hell, and she's just letting them go. She's letting him go, and
Mhm.
she's like, "I got another receipt for your ass. Just keep talking." So
it is obviously a matter of public record that your father-in-law, Lord Farmer, did post on X what he posted. He concluded by saying, "I point out I'm the Christian deputy chair of the Council for Christians and Jews. This was founded in 1942 as a bulwark against anti-Semitism." I mean, do you want to say anything about what your father-in-law or anything else that Rabbi Shmuley just said?
Yeah, I'm grateful that he brought that up. And because it's very disturbing to me to see him try to pretend that my father-in-law distanced or said something in favor of anything that Rabbi Shmuley is saying. He would never do that. It is very important to understand that, he does support Israel, and he has reaffirmed his support for Israel. And you can imagine that within any family, you have disagreements about things, but fundamentally, it's all love, and it's good for us to have these conversations. Prior to him posting the statement, I had just gotten back from vacation with him. Literally 48 hours earlier, there was something incredibly demonic about a person trying to use the Bible at the beginning of his statement, as he did, trying to quote scripture and immediately following it up by trying to pull a family apart. I mean, that is utterly unholy. And I think the question of holiness and what is holy is relevant to this discussion. I think this is a conversation that a lot of people are having as well. Look, prior to October 7th, I don't think many people were engaged with what is happening in Israel. We kind of all said the same thing. Israel is our friend and ally. I count myself among those people. Post October 7th, the world, and especially I would say Zionists in media, were demanding that we all pay attention. And when we began to pay attention, we didn't like what we saw. You cannot tell me to ever feel comfortable with 18,000 children being ruthlessly murdered. You can't get me to feel comfortable as a Christian with the amount of more explosives dropped, tons of explosives dropped on Gaza than were dropped in Hiroshima. This doesn't make sense to me. Gaza is 30 miles long, 7 miles wide. It's incredibly dense population. And this is, by the way, according to Haaretz, that 40,000 Palestinians have been murdered. I believe they're getting those numbers from the Gaza Health Ministry. And here's what I would like to say to you, Rabbi, since you're quoting scripture, okay? The one that's relevant to me is, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture, I think what's relevant is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley. The fact.
Ooh, that was tight. Speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley.
Yeah, on that bigger platform, that was like a brick in the face, but it needed to be said.
Yeah, bro.
It needed to be said. I think that was past overdue. That was long overdue, that right there. But that was something that needed to be said, and the public needed to hear that. And so I think we, especially me, just need to get familiar with the scriptures a lot more, just so we could see the context behind what the Most High is saying when he speaks of the synagogue of Satan like that. Let's continue.
That you would try to say, I am Jewish, and this is what I believe, and do and say the things that you are doing. People can see and hear evil, and what you are doing right now is an act of evil. The lies that you are telling, not just on me, but also on my family members, are a good example for the world to see what we are referring to when we call something radical Zionism.
Okay, Rabbi Shmuley.
Okay, and okay, thank you. And of course, Pierce, there was nothing ad hominem about my being demonic. This is a 2-against-1 debate. I expected that.
It's not a 2-against-1 debate.
And I will, excuse me, no, it's a 2-against-1 debate.
You've made no attempt to answer my question.
No, Pierce,
Candice,
let me speak.
Has been trying to answer my question.
Just said,
you're not.
Candice just said, filth, demonic. There's nothing ad hominem about that. You are correct. You're right, Pierce. Candice.
And then when you don't side with them, they remember that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're like, all right, Pierce, okay, you're gonna let her get away with that. Okay, all right, I got you, man. I got you. And then watch, Pierce Morgan something's gonna happen. They're gonna bring some nonsense up, saying that he did something, he did this, he did that. Flats is out of here. Flats, brother, it's good to see you, man.
All right.
Easy. I think he's got a show coming up, doesn't he? He's got a show here in a little bit.
Tonight?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He's got a show here in an hour. So,
oh shit.
Flats. So Flats, the other Flats is here. Flatworks is here. Flatworks is happening, bro. All right.
Good
yeah,
shit on good stuff on Antarctica, man. Really good stuff.
Oh yeah, amazing stuff. No longer on the ball is here. Now, before we roll into this, I'm going to kind of get off track for a little bit. I don't know if you guys have been looking at No Longer on the Ball's True Earth Wiki. That thing is remarkable. No Longer on the Ball. If you don't mind, or Maria, somebody, go ahead, anybody, drop that link in the chat right here for everybody to get a hold of it. It's totally a remarkable tool and something that I highly recommend you guys to just get on and just play around, mess around with it. You know what I'm saying? Get on that True Earth Wiki, because, man, what an amazing tool that is. And it's about time somebody put something together of truth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, Flats is gone. Easy. Sorry, I'm still, guys, I apologize for that. So let's get back in here. There it is, the True Earth Wiki.
Aha.
There it is, wikitide.org. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post that in. I'm going to post that, pin that to the top. Okay. There it is, y'all. It's the True Earth Wiki at the top. So if you have a chance, if you haven't done it already, go ahead and bookmark that True Earth Wiki. Okay. So, yeah, man. So this dude is just off his rocker. And what sucks is that he has to represent like a whole group of people. Now, when I speak about the bad ones, it's that. This is what I'm talking about. It's the Rabbi Shmulis of the world. You know what I'm saying? The people like that. It is not No Longer on the Ball, not a problem, brother. But it is not the everyday, the dude going to work, the dude just trying to live his life and he's cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to make it a blanket statement and say all of them is like that. No, but you have a select few like that just happen to be those. You know what I'm saying? Part of the synagogue of Satan. And then they wind up screwing with our flipping government and taking them down. And then the government goes ahead and they make those people the goddamn priority and not fucking Americans. Every fucking time. It works like goddamn clockwork.
Well, look how many of our government officials in Congress are dual citizenship with Israel.
Yeah,
I mean, that's insane,
man.
You know, how can we have that?
Do you know how hard it is to get a fucking clearance as a normal person? But these fuckers could get dual citizenship. And I'm like, man, I was late for my damn parking ticket and you're scrutinizing my goddamn clearance for it. I'm not no terrorist. I don't give no fucking secrets up. I don't spy for no fucking country. I don't sell crack on the side.
Right.
I was late for a fucking parking ticket. Now you want to scrutinize my whole goddamn security clearance. Meanwhile, you have people like this that clearly join the goddamn armed forces deliberately. Meanwhile, they're double agents for fucking Israel. And then you ain't got shit to say to these motherfuckers. You see it all the fucking time. And they have nothing to say to these motherfuckers. It's enough to make a sane person mad. I swear to you, it is.
Yeah, I've seen it. They're definitely for an overrepresented group for the by the percentage of them that there are, I have to say, and especially in those very facets of power and influence. That's what's fucked up.
Yep. And every year, like clockwork, you know what else is going to happen? They're going to get those billions of dollars. They're going to get those billions of dollars separate, just money, and then they're going to get those billions of dollars in military equipment and weapons.
Well, I can explain our alliance with Israel to you.
I get it.
Really?
They're like us in the Middle East for the most
part.
Well,
no. What it is that we give them billions of dollars in weapons and aid every year, and we signed an unconditional pledge to support them regardless, and they let us. That's the extent of the alliance, of the treaty. There it is right there. Okay, we do shit for them and they let us.
Fuck, man.
I don't see the return on that. Where's the return?
None. But we'll be lucky if some of our people don't get killed and then they don't cover it up. We'll be lucky for that, because that's what seems to happen now.
Through this thing of being bamboozling people into this idea, because they repeat it. If you repeat a lie often and loud enough, it I guess becomes truth. But this line about they're God's chosen people, no, they're not. No, they're not. I have a video that I can show you right now that shows that they're not, and it's got scripture to back it up. Okay, the blessing was not passed down to Jude. Sorry.
Oh wow, I did not know that. What video is this?
Hang on, I'll find it. Go ahead and run some stuff here. I'll get it for you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. As soon as you said that, I became totally interested. Now, speaking of videos, before we go back to this one, I don't know if you guys, as I'd mentioned earlier, I don't know if you guys saw that movie that I mentioned, The Objective. That thing, did you see that, Saab, that movie?
The Objective.
Yeah. So
maybe I'm not good with titles. I do poorly with titles.
It's the one where the CIA agent links up with the Green Berets up in Afghanistan, and then they go searching for the stuff in the caves.
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh man. So hopefully you guys saw it. I'm not going to talk too much about it because a couple of Truer Tuesdays ago, I discussed it, not the whole movie, but just how good the movie was in detail. And if you hadn't seen that movie, highly recommend it. It's for free on YouTube. It's one of those hidden gem movies that nobody's seen, nobody's talked about. But if you're a true earther, if you're a flat earther, you could watch that movie and you can absolutely appreciate it. Maria Walker, I see you with the heart down there. Apparently, Maria Walker has just seen it. And I guess she liked it, right? But there it is. So Barbara, Jehovah's daughter, went ahead and she dropped the link. We love you, Barbara. Thanks, sis. She went ahead, she put that down there for us so we can enjoy that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pin that to the top real quick. Hold on. Let me go and pin that to the top. There it is. Pinned at the top. So you can see that right there. That is The Objective. If you hadn't watched it, you could watch it for free. And what I would recommend also is, since these guys made the movie, obviously they have some kind of budget and they have some kind of gift. Let's talk to these dudes. Let's get them with the Eric Hiblers and all them guys and the Vika Drazivs. Let's get them. Maybe they can make a mashup. They can make a collab, because the more people we have on our side, the more people with gifts. Obviously, these guys have the gift of production, making movies that are somewhat fringe and outside the norm. Let's get these guys. People like that is who you want on your side. Let's get these dudes. Let's talk good about them. Let's watch their stuff, watch their movies, support them, bring them over. Bring them over to the flat side. You know what I'm saying?
I found that video.
Yeah. What you got?
Yep. It's like 10 minutes, but it'll give you a lot of information that dispels all that, and it's pretty entertaining.
You guys want to watch it? We don't have to. Yeah, we could go all day with Candice Owens. We know where that's at. But let's check this video out, Saab. Let me stop sharing that. Yeah, Saab. Is that it right there?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. Let's check this out, y'all.
Chosen people.
Oh, this is interesting. This is gonna look good. All right, let's see that. Okay. Not some chosen people.
It's agreed on the fact that the Jews are God's chosen people, that the Jewish homeland is Israel, that the Jews believe in the Old Testament, and that the Old Testament is about Jews. However, almost none of these facts are true. Nowhere in the Bible does it call the Jews God's chosen people. Modern day Israel isn't really the homeland of the Jews. The Jews don't really believe in the Old Testament, and only maybe 5% of the people in the Old Testament can even be considered Jewish. So now that you've branded me an anti-Semite, we can begin. So the expression anti-Semite literally means against Shem or his descendants. However, being anti-Jewish isn't the same as being anti-Semitic. So let me explain. The Semites are the descendants of a man named Shem, who would father some of the world's most renowned empires and dynasties, such as the Assyrian and Babylonian empires, and even the Persians can call themselves the Semites. So why is it when you say something against the Jews, you are considered anti-Semitic? Because just like stealing your religion, your homes, your money, and businesses, some Jews also love stealing names, inheritance, and land. So Shem is the son of Noah, the guy who built the ark when Mesopotamia flooded. The Sumerian kingdom would be destroyed by the flood, and the Semites would descend from the Caucasian mountains and establish the Akkadian Empire. Shem would have children, and one of his descendants would be named Eber. He would be the father of the Hebrew people, and the Semites would be called by his name. Eber's line would eventually give birth to a man named Abram or a Jew named Abraham, except Abraham has never been a Jew, nor will he ever be a Jew, and to call Abraham one is just plain ignorant. So let's go through. So according to the Bible, Abraham was a Hebrew and not a Jew, who God promised would be the father of many nations, not one single Jewish nation, but many nations, and that through him all the families of the world would be blessed. Abraham would pass this blessing on to his younger son Isaac and not his eldest son Ishmael. Isaac would have twin sons named Esau and Jacob. Again, the Abrahamic blessing would be passed down to the younger brother Jacob, who would then be renamed to Israel. Israel would then have 12 sons. His sons would each become their own tribes and eventually become their own nations. One of his sons would be named Judah, who would be the father of the Jewish people, and all Jews are related to him. Even though all Jews are Israelites, majority of Israelites are not Jews. Obviously, Israel would have to pass the Abrahamic blessing to Judah in order for them to be the chosen people. Israel would want his favorite son Joseph to inherit the Abrahamic blessing. However, Judah, the father of the Jews, would be jealous and conspire with his brothers to have Joseph killed. In the end, Judah sold Joseph into slavery for silver, much like Judah sold Jesus to the Jews. So the Bible portrays Judah as a jealous villain and Joseph as the chosen son. While in slavery, Joseph would rise to become the prime minister of Egypt and father two sons named Ephraim and Manasseh. In the end, Israel would adopt Joseph's sons and pass the Abrahamic blessing on to them, making them the chosen people and dividing Joseph into two tribes, making 13 tribes of Israel. As for the father of the Jews, his two eldest sons would die and Judah would end up bowing down to Joseph. So now that you understand that the Jews were never intended to bless the world, nor were they ever considered the chosen people, we can move on to our second point. So
stop. Pause that part.
Israel? And the answer is yes and not at all.
I'll take it back.
Smoke. Yeah. Just a little bit. Let's see that part again.
This right here?
Yeah.
All right.
In 13 tribes of Israel. As for the father of the Jews, his two eldest sons would die, and Judah would end up bowing down to Joseph. So now that you understand that the Jews were never intended to bless the world, nor were they ever considered the chosen people, we can move on to our second point.
All right. So that's that part of it. Now it goes on because it even goes on because of what the two that it was passed along to, what their names actually mean. And that'll really open some eyes up.
I gotta see this.
So is the Jewish homeland Israel? And the answer is yes and not at all. Israel was originally called the land of Canaan, named after Noah's grandson, Canaan. The land of Canaan was conquered by the Israelites after they left Egypt with Moses, found in the book of Exodus. The Bible says God commanded the Israelites to punish the Canaanites for their sexual immorality, which led to child sacrifice, which would eventually lead to cannibalism. The word cannibal actually comes from the words Canaan and the god Baal. Baal was the god of Canaan, and the priests were known for eating the children after they were sacrificed to him, hence why we call them cannibal. So now that you understand what kind of people were living in Canaan, try not to feel so bad when you read that God ordered us to exterminate them. The border borders of the Jewish homeland were established by Joshua, who was one of the descendants of Joseph and not from Judah. So if we were to restore the Jews to their original land, according to the Bible, the Jewish homeland would look less like this and more like that. So, like the story of Joseph and Judah, their children likewise wouldn't get along either. After becoming nations, there would be a civil war. The Jews would rule the southern kingdom of Judea, while Joseph's sons would rule the northern kingdom, keeping the name Israel. They would have different religions, believe in different gods, and while Judah stayed in Judea, Joseph would ally himself with the Phoenicians and establish colonies and trade posts all over the Mediterranean. The kingdom of Israel would be corrupted by foreign ideologies, and like the Canaanites would fall into materialism, sexual immorality, and child sacrifice, which would lead to them being conquered by the Assyrian Empire. Some of the Israelites would be taken into captivity into the lands of Assyria and Media, while some of the Israelites and Phoenicians would flee to their colonies and trade posts, fulfilling the promise made to Abraham that the world would be blessed through him, as he would be the father of many nations. So the sons of Joseph would become fruitful and multiply among the nations, forgetting who they are, which shouldn't surprise us considering their names literally mean fruitful and forgetful. Just like the northern kingdom, the Jews would fall into sexual immorality and start sacrificing their children. They would be conquered and enslaved by the Babylonians, then freed and reestablished by the Persians, conquered again by the Greeks, and later occupied by the Romans. While under Roman rule, the Jews would launch the greatest revolution in Roman history, known as the Great Revolt, which would fail, causing Judea, Jerusalem, and the Jewish temple to be destroyed, ironically fulfilling everything Jesus and the Christians said would happen. The Jews, not being satisfied with losing their temple and homeland, would stab the Romans in the back by launching 2 more rebellions, killing over 500,000 Greeks and Romans. God would bless the chosen people with 2 more humiliating defeats, along with the banishment from the land, causing Judea to be renamed to Syria Palestinia. So the reason the Jews have been able to take Palestine really rests on the fact that they've stolen the name Israel and have convinced the Christian West that they are the chosen people and that they alone are Israel. But once putting things into perspective, we see that just isn't true. Which brings us to our third point. Do the Jews believe in the Old Testament? The answer is kind of and not really. While waving around the Old Testament as if they believe in it, the Jews actually have secondary books that they consider just as important, the main book being called the Talmud. To explain the Talmud, we have to understand some basic Jewish Roman history, going back to Emperor Claudius, who, like Emperor Tiberius, tried to ban the Jews from Rome after branding them aggressive troublemakers. Sadly, Emperor Claudius didn't understand how to play the Game of Thrones and ended up mysteriously being killed. His successor, Emperor Nero, would lift the Jewish ban, which shouldn't surprise us considering the Talmud says he was a Jewish convert. Nero and his Jews would engage in some of the most barbaric acts known to man. Just to give you an idea of how crazy this pro-Jewish Roman emperor was, Nero burned down Rome and blamed it on the Christians, causing them to be tortured and killed in the worst ways imaginable. He murdered his entire family, then kicked his pregnant wife and unborn child to death, and then castrated a young boy named Sporus and forced him to dress like the wife who he had just murdered. With the coming of Jesus, the Jews divide into 2 main groups. Those who believe that Jesus is the Messiah, while the other group of Jews rejected this claim, believing that their Messiah would come wielding a sword to destroy the Romans and set up a Jewish empire, which is what led the Jews to revolt against Rome in the first place. That, and they just didn't want to pay taxes. After their failed rebellions, the Jews would retreat to Babylon, creating the religion we know today as Judaism, making Christianity older by about 200 years. The Jews would argue and say that the Talmud is the oral law that was passed down orally without any mistakes since the time of Moses, before finally being written down between 200 and 400 years after Jesus. This would place the Jews in first place above the Muslims for the longest, most successful game of broken telephone ever played. The Talmud speaks of its love for Christians by calling the mother of Jesus a whore and calling Jesus a bastard sorcerer who is in hell boiling in human shit. Which brings us to our last point. Is the Old Testament about Jews? The answer is no, not really. Because the Jews have stolen the name Israel, you would never guess that the majority of the people in the Bible are not Jewish. The Apostle Paul, for instance, even though everyone calls him a Jew, Paul quickly separates himself from the Jews and says, I am an Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin. The Bible also says that God sent Paul to preach among the Israelites. And funny enough, Paul's ministry wasn't in Judea, but he was sent to preach to the Galatians in Asia Minor, the Greeks in Greece, and the Romans in Rome. The Bible is constantly separating the kingdom of Israel from the kingdom of Judah, as it is constantly separating Joseph from Judah. The entire Jewish deception and hijacking of the Bible depends on them stealing the terms Semites, Hebrews, and Israelites. For example, Moses, the man who wrote the first 5 books, known as the Torah, did not come from the tribe of Judah, nor was he part of the kingdom of Judea, yet somehow he is a Jew. The reality here is the majority of the people in the Old Testament are not Jewish. The Bible is a book that tells the history of many nations and peoples,
Yes.
like Hebrews, Israelites, Egyptians, Phoenicians, Babylonians, Assyrians, Armenians, Persian, Greeks, Romans, and many others. It's not only about Jews.
So, Prasad, pause that if you don't mind.
That's it.
Oh, well, it's it. So, I think it's interesting, like the table of nations. This is something that I learned about when I was younger, right? The table of nations, like all like basically what he was starting to show right there, and all these different tribes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to BS you, man. Like, I read the scriptures. I need to like read the scriptures so I could better understand who's who in the zoo and where they're from. Because I'll be honest with you, what confuses the hell out of me is, and I got a bunch of ink all over my hands. I write with these dang fountain pens, so excuse my, my fingers. I'm fingerprinting myself anyway.
Right,
but
right.
These table of nations, right? They describe the different tribes. And so every time I see Hebrew, every time I see Jew, and every time I see Israelite, I'm not going to lie to you. Like I take them and I just lump them all as one complete people. I called them the same. And I've been so used to calling them all the same. And I wonder if there's anybody out there that's like that calls Hebrew.
One good book is this one right here, Who's Who in the Bible.
Who in the Bible?
It's called.
Yeah.
This was actually put out by Reader's Digest, but in alphabetical order, you've got all of the people that are listed in the Bible. It tells you who they are, what their backstory is, everything about it. Now, another good reference that you don't normally get is in some older Bibles, but especially in the 1611 King James.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Catholic.
There's
Bible.
actually a lineage, a whole section of lineage.
It's like is it like a big family tree that they show?
Yeah. And it's like spreads over several pages. If you can, I don't know if you can see this or not.
Nah, you're back.
Here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one right here starts with God at the very top and it goes Adam and Eve. And there's a lot of stuff you got to look, a lot of details. There's a lot of details. And a thing you see, what happens is down from Seth and Cain, the 2 lines, you start having people that have the same names. And that can get confusing.
Yes.
So you can follow this right on through, and then it goes into Japheth's line, Shem's line, the whole thing. I mean, it's like, I don't know how many pages of family tree into this thing. Let's see, 21, 25, 33. Yeah, 34 pages of family tree.
Oh my God. So then real quick, when it comes to, because everybody refers to Noah, Ham, and Japheth, right? So when it comes to those 3 coming off the boat, does it say where they go and where their kids go? Does it talk about like you said, it talks about who's who, but does it also talk about?
Yeah, okay. It tells where they spread off to. Absolutely. I don't know right exactly offhand or anything like that, but I'll tell you what's really interesting. You get one of these, this one right here. I think this was close to $1.50.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's an exact replica of a 1611 first edition King James Bible. Everything page for page is replica, and it actually came with a actual page from an original 1611 Bible. This piece of paper I'm holding right here is over 400 years old.
Oh man.
500 years old.
What does the print look like?
It's Old English. You can tell that it was done with a press.
Right.
You can tell that it was done with a press, yeah. And this is the thing, you have to really look into Old English. You have to look because the lettering is different, words are different. The word sin is SINNE.
Yes.
I mean, there's some strange things, and like I say, we do some odd spellings for things, but this thing's got all the holidays, the actual holidays, when they are, what they're called, the prayer that you're supposed to do in the morning, the evening, during these holidays, everything. Let me see it. Where is that? Great example of that.
So in the beginning of the 1611 King James Bible, they have, it sounds like they have a series of sections before they roll into Genesis and everything else. They have a bunch of things. So they have like things like the days of the week, different, and I think you mentioned
it's like these to be observed for holy days and none other. And there's a list of the days that you're supposed to hold. Over here is a table of the order of the Psalms, proper Psalms on certain days, DAYES. That's how days was spelled. Let's see, what else has this got in here? The table and calendar, expressing the order of Psalms and Lephons and lessons. That double F is
the F.
yeah. We said in morning and evening prayer. So I mean, this thing's got everything in it. And let's say each month, by each month, those are listed, and the translator's notes to the reader, which is really interesting when you get into that aspect of it. But I mean, just the way they spell things. What was that? Yeah, sin. Where does it say around Eve here? The strength of sin is the law. Really some, in the artwork, even the calligraphy, when you look at the way, like when you look at Genesis where it starts, it's almost like the first letter of each verse tells a story in the creation story. And it's just beautiful, beautiful calligraphy. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, let me put this aside here. Let me turn off my green screen. Haha. Yeah. That'll make things a lot easier. We go into, well, that's not where I want to be. I want to go into settings, virtual background, none there. Oh, look at how bare. With a dog laying in the background. Look at that shit.
Yeah, right.
Let's see if you can kind of.
Yes. That I'm so used to seeing it written like this, right? Anytime I go to something like eBay to see if they got a super duper sale that I could grab one of them jokers, and it's written exactly like that. It's written just like that.
Yeah, this is it's beautiful, and it is, and it's like you start looking into this, and you're like, man, originally this shit was written out by hand, man, and then duplicated. This is amazing. It's amazing that they were able to do something like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just a good thing to have, like, because of what the contents are, but just the amount of work that went into making one of those. And from what I understand, what we've been taught, I don't know how true it is, because now we're starting to find out that a lot of this stuff is a lie. But what we were taught is that a lot of these monks and a lot of these these holy people that wrote the Bible, they did it all by hand. And every time, every time that they mentioned the Most High, they said, you know, his name, right? They would take their quill after they wrote his name, they would take their quill and they would burn it. That's how sacred his name was. Yeah. They would take it, they would write it, and then they would burn it. And then they'd get another quill and then they'd continue to write.
See, this is interesting too. At the very top of the page on each word, there's the chapter areas. It gives you a brief synopsis as to what's going on. At the top of this page here in Kings, it's says, okay, over here, Jerusalem is besieged. So you'd know to be finding where Jerusalem is besieged. Over here, Zedekiah taken, Geldalath is slain. See what's over here. Come over here, the Levite cities, you know, and it's just kind of gives you a synopsis of what's down on that whole page at the very, very top in big letters. It's really quite a work, really quite a work.
So Greg B is saying that the King James Version was based on earlier translations. So another Bible type that I know of, everybody, I think, not everybody, I assume, but I know a well-known one is the Geneva Bible.
Yes. I want to get a hold of one of those.
Yeah, a Geneva Bible, and I'm assuming from Switzerland. You know what I'm saying? But I'm wondering what other Bibles did they have before that? I'm sure they had some other stuff. Obviously, we know the Ethiopians
you got the Tinsdale, and you've got the Geneva.
The Tinsdale, I don't think I've ever heard of that one, but the Geneva I have.
Yeah, Tinsdale. Tinsdale was actually burned alive with a copy of his Bible around his neck.
What?
Yeah, the church. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's how these people were doing. But this is another great one too. Like this, I'll hear him talk about somebody. I'm like, who the hell was that again? And I'll go get this book out. It's the Who's Who in the Bible. And it's in alphabetical order. So if you know what the dude's name or the girl's name is, you can just look it up and it gives you a basic synopsis as to who they are. Let's see. Here's Judah. Born in Padam Aram in Mesopotamia, Judah was the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. His name was given to the tribe that came to occupy the hill country south of Jerusalem and west of the Dead Sea. Right there, like they were showing in the in that cartoon, right?
Right.
With Hebron at its center, territory that later became the kingdom of Judah. It just tells you everything about it. Jacob had many children, but he loved Joseph, his son, by Rachel. Most of all, Joseph's brothers were jealous of this and favoritism and conspired to kill him. But Judah suggested that they instead sell the land into slavery, protesting, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Eventually, Joseph would say, hey, wait, let's not just kill him. Let's sell him. We can make a profit on it.
We can make some money.
I mean, always for the fucking shekels, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it goes on all the way through and tells you pretty much everything you need to know about these characters without, and you can get more information as you get into the Bible, of course, but.
And you got Greg B talking about the Bishop's Bible. Let me write that down. I'm going to do the Bishop's Bible.
So that video pretty much lays it out there. There it is, that shows it. You can go back into Candice now.
Yeah.
You lay it all out there anyway.
Oh boy. Yeah, she gave that dude the business. And even though, like, personally, I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Like, I don't trust her. I don't trust anybody that's a journalist.
Oh, no.
For a public journalist, I do not
especially if they were part of Blaze.
You know what I'm saying? I don't trust them. Just to
Glenn
see them
Beck.
Oh, God,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And his fake crying bullshit with his sweater and his fireplace. And I was like, okay, once, I was like, okay, wow, he's really emotional about that. But then he was fucking crying about every goddamn thing. It's like, this guy's so fake.
Yeah, man. Who's that coach? Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil just crying like Dick Vermeil, man.
Yeah. I mean, and it's, you know, some of them, they get so another one that cracks me up. You see him run on YouTube. I call him the 40-year-old frat boy, Benny Johnson.
Oh,
You ever seen that guy?
yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
God. He's like, oh, please, Mr. Trump, can I hold your ball sack for you? I mean, it's like, good God, dude. How come you're not asking that motherfucker how his ear healed up? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's even talking about it.
Nobody's and people, you know what's crazy? People forgot about it, man.
Yeah, they did.
People totally forgot about that thing, man.
That dumb
Nobody
walking around with a super maxi pad stuck to the side of his head and shit, you know, and people are, and then everybody emulates it, starts wearing their own bandage.
Oh, yeah, and like I call that thing as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, they're gonna take pictures, they're gonna make you're gonna take pictures, you're gonna make money. Nobody's talking about it. And since this whole presidential debates and nonsense like that, like nobody's saying anything about it. And JFK Jr., he's supposed to be Mr. Conspiracy, right? He's not saying anything about it.
No.
So it's like, what the hell's going on, man? Like, what's really going on?
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody going to bring it up? So again, they dropped the ball.
Yeah, of course they didn't, and they got everybody chasing down these rabbit holes about, oh, there might have been a second shooter. Oh, look, a guy up on a water tower. Oh, looks like the CIA, or whatever group is with the deep state and shit. And it's like, no, here's the most obvious answer. It was a stage show. Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, the cameraman that got the iconic photograph, right, of him, the fist in the air saying fight, right? All right, yeah. The same guy that was filming George Bush reading stories to the kids when he was told about the Twin Towers, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He's like Peter Parker. Like, Peter, man, how'd you get all these pictures of Spider-Man? He's like, I don't know, man. We're real cool. Like, really, Pete?
Yeah, bro. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, he froze. Or am I froze? One of us might be froze. I'm not froze. I think
it's me.
Okay.
It's me froze again. It's like, dang, Pete, Jonah's gonna give you a raise, bro. You stay being in front of Spider-Man, man.
No doubt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just shit like that makes you go, that's really quite a coincidence, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, man. There goes Roger. Roger's in the house.
Uh-oh. All right. We can't talk about him no more now.
Oh, yeah.
He knows better. Roger's a good guy.
Yeah, Roger, man. He's in the Pukala. Whatever.
What the hell's a Pukala?
You know, that little nipple that's supposed to be outside, the thing with the 7 windows that's outside of the
cupola.
The Pukala. It's bullshit anyway. Ain't nobody up there.
I thought it was like that Hawaii hat, the Pukala. Oh,
yeah. With their little grass skirts. It might as well have them up there. It's bullshit anyway. Ain't nobody up there.
You know, they don't give you those fucking wreaths when you get to Hawaii, when you get off the plane and shit. They don't give a fuck.
Hey, man, when I got stationed in Hawaii, as soon as I got off the plane, my sponsor, he came and he gave me my lei. And I didn't have my family with me. Yeah, he gave me my lei. He was like, welcome to Hawaii, bro. I was
so you got laid in the airport right there.
I got laid in the airport, yo. I got laid. He was like, welcome. I was like, oh shit, it's like that. Okay. He's like, you want to go get something to eat? I was like, eat and drink. Yes, I don't have my family with me. Let's get fucked up. So
what do you mean, Jono, that I need a guitar up in here? I got a guitar up here.
Oh, Sam's always strapped with a guitar, man.
I'm up here in this International Space Station. We got all kinds of musical instruments, gorilla suits, all kinds of shit.
Who's that Canadian dude with the big old mustache? Look like he's selling Planters peanuts.
Hatfield.
Yeah. Freaking Hatfield, that damn astronaut. The big mustache look like he's doing a Planters peanuts commercial.
There's a porn stash. Now they got Witchy Poo stuck up there right now. That really ugly woman that they got for
and now
astronaut.
they're deliberating as to how they're going to get these dudes up there, and they don't want to send Boeing because Boeing's got all sorts of issues, lies on top of lies.
Sure.
How do we get them down? And I'm like, oh brother,
Oh, yeah.
you mean out of the swimming pool?
I don't know. Anybody shot? Maybe. How do we get them down? I don't know. Just give them a shot. See what they can do.
Yeah,
you know.
Guys,
if you don't, who's those guys that break down all the Apollo shit?
Oh, the Apollo Shills.
Is that the older guys? Older
NASA
guys?
Shields. Yeah. He's like Marcus Allen.
They were showing the capsule and shit. Still got the aluminum handles on the hatch and shit after this thing went through so many thousand degrees of fucking fire of re-entry and all that shit. But the aluminum handles, they're just still shining bright, no problem.
Yeah, like they're right out the shop. Right out the shop. And man, I swear to God, like people are just gonna let that shit ride. And then you know what they say? Well, what's the president gonna do about it? And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are still in the Stone Age.
Well, the president ain't got shit to do with anything at all. Listen, you guys, they don't understand. He's not. They don't do anything. They can veto bills, or they can sign them into law, or they can command the fucking armed forces.
Exactly.
There you go. That's it.
That's it. They can't do nothing with no NASA. Well, what's he going to do about NASA? It's like, oh, Jesus, Lord, please.
If you want to do anything about anything that has to do with money, you have to go to the House of Representatives. And because people never have taken or understood the importance of the House of Representatives, they've not paid any attention to it. So they just vote they don't think it fucking matters who they put in there. But they don't realize that the House of Representatives are the purse strings of this government, okay? Every monetary bill, every tax bill, everything that has to do with that goes through the House of Representatives. Don't matter who the fuck is the president, senator. No, most important, first and foremost, that's your direct representative, and that's the most important, and people pay the least attention to.
That's done on purpose too, I think.
Of course.
That's done on purpose. Look here, don't look there. That's where the money's being made up at.
So people say, oh, well, thank God AOC is only a congressman. What? Fuck you.
Yeah.
She's like one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen. And the rest of these clowns that are in there too. Sheila Jackson Lee, fucking Nancy Pelosi, all the rest of these people that are in there,
And then they have time. They have all this time that they're given all this time in the seat. And it's like, dude, they don't do anything. They got all this fucking time in the seat. Did you
ever see that Eddie Murphy movie where he ran? He was him and
the Distinguished Gentleman.
Yeah, where because he had the same name as a guy that would win on name recognition. So that guy had died, so he jumped on the ballot and shit. Nobody knew that it was a black dude, man. Everybody thought it was this old crusty white guy, right? So they just kept voting. They went in there, saw the name, and voted, and he won. And ended up in there. And then he found out what a boondoggle of money that was. Well, we got to vote on this bill. What is it about? Well, Big Oil will give you so many $1 million if you vote this way. And this outfit will give you this many $1 million if you vote the other way. And it's like, what the fuck? All I'm doing is just buying, selling influence. Get the fuck out of here. But it was great because he really busted it. It was like a comedic take on Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yeah. I never even thought about it like that. But yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, kind of put another little spin on that same kind of story. It's pretty much the same thing, just kind of adapted differently. Yeah.
But these jokers these days, man, look, all they got is bad news for us, and they're getting out of the way of the big fucking the wrecking ball that's coming for everybody. They just get out the way. They're there for it. They're ready for it, and they put these things into play. And they're gonna be they're totally. This is the crazy part. This is what people don't realize. I don't think people realize is they're putting all this nonsense into play, and they avoid it like the plague. They're like, oh, this is what's going to happen to y'all. Not to us, though. We're not getting this. We're totally insulated from it. And I'm like, but what about them? So they don't have to sit there. They can eat all this good food. We got to eat the poison stuff.
Rules for thee and not for me.
Exactly. They can live in these good houses. We have to struggle. We have to scrounge. We got to live in potentially live in an apartment if we could, if it's available. They get to live where they want, do what they want, eat what they want, drink what they want, even breathe what they want. And then we're left with uncertainty.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think anybody's taken these motherfuckers to task yet.
Well, I don't understand why people put so much of their lives into fucking strangers' hands.
Exactly. It's like, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. This is what we're doing.
What the fuck are you doing?
He's like, uh-oh, walkies. Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Big ass German Shepherd, man. He's no, you're not coming through here. It's too small of an area for you. He's like the biggest dog in the house, and he wants to walk right here between me and the desk and then back around my chair for some reason. And he's just been doing some weird shit here lately.
Yeah, it's Friday, so he's getting loose.
Well, he's 10. He's getting a little doddery, you know.
But yeah, you got these jokers out here, man. Like, nobody's like, what about you guys? What about you guys? Are you guys eating the same gruel we're eating? And the answer is absolutely not, man.
You know, this is why I've said for the longest time, you know what we need to do about that, right? Just stop. We don't have to fight anybody. Just stop.
Yeah.
What would happen if we just all stopped playing their fucking game? Doesn't mean we got to go and you're still guided by natural law. I mean, there's nobody stopping me from burning something down right now or going and shooting up the neighborhood or any other thing. What's stopping me from doing that? What is stopping me from doing that? I am. Okay. And I think everybody that's listening can agree. What keeps you from doing shit like that? Because you don't fucking want to. That's why it's wrong. You recognize it as wrong. So I'm governing myself. There's nobody out there making sure that I don't do these things. So would it really make a fuck's difference if there wasn't any government? You mean to tell me that if a road became fucked up somehow, that the community couldn't get together and say, hey, listen, man, we're having a hard time getting through here. Let's fucking chip in and get a contractor in here to fix it.
Man,
hey, how many good idea?
How many times do you see potholes, especially in a place like Baltimore or something? You got these roads. It's like, listen, all you have to, and this is, you know, every time I go to New York, especially like Brooklyn, I go someplace like downtown and I'm looking and I'm like, look at all this goddamn trash everywhere I go. And it just makes my skin crawl. I'm like, what if everybody just stopped what they were doing and said, all right, you see this little 8x8 section? I'm going to take that. Don't come in here for the next 30 minutes. Let me fucking clean it. What if everybody, with all the freaking people they got in New York City, just did that for like an hour, just 1 hour? In the Navy, you know what we call that? We called it field day, right? We called it field day. So every Friday, or not Friday, but Saturday in the Navy and on the submarines, it would be like Friday, Saturday, something like that. You would just have field day. So in the morning, it would take 2 hours. You get your space and you would deep clean that space for 2 hours. That's all it required in a week. 2 hours. That section of yours, it is yours. You've claimed it. You clean it. They could do that citywide, and it doesn't. You could do that in a neighborhood. It doesn't need to be the whole planet. But really, if you want to take charge of your space, if you really want to have some serious ownership, I think that's where we need to start.
Well, and people have to get a new mindset. They really have to get into a new mindset, and it's really difficult for a lot of people. That they have to understand that each person is responsible for themselves and their actions, first and foremost. Okay.
I agree.
Secondly, the recognition that none of us is greater than all of us. Okay. Nobody's better than anybody else. People have different skill levels in different things, that nobody is greater than anybody else. We all have our strengths. We all have our weaknesses. Okay. That aside, now we're ready to do things. We can be cooperative with one another. If we work from a non-aggression principle, like I don't want to commit any act that causes loss, injury, or harm to another person. Yeah, I don't want to do that. And that's that right there. Now I've gone beyond my rights. A right is anything you do that's not wrong. So there it is, that simple. Non-aggression doesn't mean you don't whoop the fuck out of somebody in righteous aggression. Like if they're harming your family, your children, or trying to steal your shit or burn your house or whatever the case may be, they're to prevent someone else from committing loss, injury, or harm to you. You're able to respond in a like manner to prevent that. There you go.
It's pretty
it's real simple. We don't need all this bullshit that we got. And we find out about with all these laws, a lot of these codes, the legislation that we're forced to live under is not lawful because it goes against natural law.
Yes.
And
it's what's the wild part about that is it's like playing an impossible game of Simon Says. So where they're like, all right, Simon Says, touch the ceiling. You're like, but the ceiling is 900 feet high. How do I touch that ceiling? And it's like you're actually entertaining it. They're like, well, you got to touch the ceiling. If you don't touch the ceiling, you're not playing Simon Says. Now, the crazy part is you're going to have people that say, well, we got to find a way to touch the ceiling because we have to play Simon Says. And I'm like, and then no, exactly what you're saying. No, you don't. You really like stop for a second and just listen to what they're saying and what you're starting to claim. Like stop and think. Just stop and think.
If just 10% of us did that, if just 10%, it would throw a monkey wrench in their whole game. 20% in their game is over.
Yep.
It's that simple. It really is. And not a shot needs to be fired other than in defense. It's that's simple.
That's it. And really all you need are the people cooperating and the community working together. And you're still going to have your sellouts. You're still going to have your sellouts. You're still going to have your people coming in from the outside that are going to try and regulate on you because you're not playing Simon Says. You're still going to have that. So be cautious of that. But if your community is of a like mind, you know what I'm saying? These things can work. They're possible. You just really, it's the community running things again. And these things, like, they're possible. But this is where the change needs to happen up here. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that were watching football. I guess they had a football game tonight. They had a football game last night. And listen, I was the biggest New York Giants fan in the universe. You couldn't tell me nothing about the New York Giants that I didn't know, that I wasn't somehow a part of, right? Because the New York Giants were like my life. But after I saw the NFL disrespecting black folks the way they were, I said, you know what? They don't need my money. Fuck the NFL. Matter of fact, fuck sports altogether because they just like that on people that look like me. Now, I think in general, this needs to be a collective thing. It doesn't just need to be black, doesn't need to be white, Jewish, Chinese, don't matter. It needs to be a thing where people that, if we're not part of that, and if they are not bringing anything back to our communities, they don't money either. They don't need our attention either. They don't need our viewership either. You understand? So take your attention away from them. Focus in on your community, how it can be better, how your surroundings could be better, man. If people could just...
Are you familiar? Have you ever heard of us? Do you like Pink Floyd?
I love Pink. Oh man, I was wearing a Pink Floyd shirt today. I love Pink Floyd.
Nice. So that song, the Fletcher Memorial, it's on the Final Cut album. And it's the Fletcher Memorial, home for incurable tyrants and kings. And he goes, let's build them a home, a little place of their own.
That was later Pink Floyd. Like, I think that one came out in the 80s, didn't it?
Yeah, the Final Cut.
The Final Cut.
And if you find the video for it, look, watch the video to it. It's awesome because it shows them they got all these people in an insane asylum, but all the patients are like Margaret Thatcher and Winston Churchill and Adolf Hitler and shit. And they just go around and they hit each other on the head with hammers and make sure they can see themselves on closed circuit TV and shit, you know, and it's awesome, man. It's an awesome video.
Yeah.
But I've often thought that, you know, let them play their own fucking games with each other. Leave us the hell out of it.
Yep. And then here's the thing is they really don't, like, we're giving them this power. We're giving it to them. We're giving them power that's really, it doesn't really exist. Like they have no power over us.
What kind of iron is that behind you in the closet?
That one?
Yeah.
That is a 9mm. That's a 9mm.
So
that's a 9mm. Like that's the carbine. You know, that's the freaking.
I know. Froze up on me again. Is he back? Come on, he'll get there. He's gonna unfreeze any minute. I can't believe you froze up on me bad. Can't believe you froze up on me, bro.
Yeah, you know, it's not.
He's coming. I was gonna say I have a little 9mm pistol carbine. It takes Glock mags. It's called an EP9. It's made by a company called X-Star in Arizona. Takes any size. It takes any Glock magazine.
Really?
9mm double stack. Yeah.
Double. I was about to ask if it's double stack because wow. This one.
But what's funny is I got a couple 33 round magazines, 9mm, and they'll fit right into my Glock 17. I got a Glock 17 Gen 1 that it fits in there. It looks gangster as shit. You got this fucking magazine sticking out this far and shit.
How many rounds does that hold?
33.
God, dog. But it's single shot, right? Not single shot, but it's semi-auto, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say
I don't have no full auto.
I was gonna say that sounds like one of those. Almost sounds like a Uzi.
Oh, it's a sweet. It's nice. Sweet. Got the compensator on it, so you can stay on target. I got it set up with a holographic red dot. You take that thing out to the range. I'm hit like it got steel set in like different spots. I can just sit there and go ting 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 ting.
Oh man, I tell you what, man, Glock and Sig. I like Glocks because that's like, you know, anybody could get a Glock, but a Sig, man, Sig is when you got a little bit more cheese in your pocket for a Sig.
Wait a minute, what's that one that's is that a Sig or an H&K? That one that's been people have been reporting it to just go off on its own.
That wasn't the HK. That was the Sig. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it was a 357.
Yep.
Yeah. Because there was that one cop I saw a video. The thing was sitting in his holster. Nobody even touched it. It just went pow.
You know, I've been hearing about that, and I was like, maybe it's just me. But now you're the third person to talk about that.
Yeah.
That I've seen that's been saying that, and there are a couple of gun companies that have been having issues these days. So it's Sig and it's Mossberg. Believe it or not, Mossberg has been selling handguns lately, and I didn't even know that. I thought of course, they're going to make handguns because everybody that's making a gun makes everything. but their handguns are trash from what I'm hearing. Like pistols, the triggers freezing up and everything. Not good.
I've got a Remington 887 shotgun, tactical shotgun with a extended tube magazine on it. It's got a muzzle. It's got a breech, door breech muzzle. It's a police model. Yeah, it's pretty badass. 12 gauge.
Wow.
And then I got a semi-automatic bullpup magazine fed 12 gauge.
What? Where you find one of those? Is it Israeli made? Is it like a Turkish? I think Tofar?
It's Turkish.
Oh, you know what? The Turkish make some really good shotguns. They make some really good shotguns, what I've noticed. That's right.
It came stock with five round magazines.
Right.
So you can go 5+1. And then I bought these 9-round magazines, and they almost look ridiculous because they come out and they curve around and they almost come to where the trigger guard's at, when it cycles around. But the beauty of the bullpup is the fact that you've taken a full-length shotgun and just moved the action back inside the stock. So your trigger is forward of your action.
Yes. And then everything is, that's right. Jeez, man.
Yeah. Takes a little bit of, it feels a little awkward at first, but once you get on, it's fine.
You'll understand why the engineering is that way, which is wild because it seems like the Turkish and the Israelis, they kind of make guns in the similar kind of fashion, the bullpup style.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes it easier to get in and out of a vehicle with the weapon.
Yeah,
you still got a full-size weapon without it being so cumbersome getting in and out of like armored transports, Humvee, tank, whatever. It's like I got a one called a Hell Pup. It's not a bullpup design. It's just a pistol AK-47 with a folding stock, and it was a Polish design for tank crews.
Oh. And it takes 7
the 7.62 by 39. 7.62 by 39. Yeah, it's a standard AK-47 setup.
Yeah,
it's just a shorter barrel length, and it has a folding pistol brace on it.
Wow, I bet that joker costs all kinds of money, man.
Now it does. Not when I got it.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got that one's Polish made. My standardized AK is a Serbian model.
Wow. I'm starting to see a lot of people start to pay a lot of attention to the Eastern European model guns lately.
Well, my philosophy is this: if the shit hits the fan, whether it's from foreign or domestic, right? I want to have the type of weaponry of the common ammunition used by either side.
Yes.
So my whole thing is let them wipe each other out to the most part, and then I'm going to strip the dead of their ammunition. I mean, either way, I got something that shoots it. I got something that shoots whatever you got.
I'll carpet bag all day.
That 9x18 that the Russians use, that what is that, a Karakov? Their pistols their 9mm pistol is a 9x18.
I've seen that. I never paid any attention to it.
Yeah.
God, dog. That's not a bad philosophy to have, and it makes a lot of sense because I've been looking at a lot of 7.62 rifles. I'm like, that looks pretty decent. Let me see what the reviews are on YouTube, and I'll see somebody like Hickok sitting over there shooting them, and I'm like, oh man, that's not a bad piece. But I was like,
on that note, before I forget, legend Paul Harrell just died of pancreatic cancer. He had a YouTube channel, really great information on firearms and shooting and caliber comparisons and stuff. But he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And what was it, yesterday or day before, he put a video out that said, "I'm dead." And he had made it prior, and he said, "If you're watching this video, it's because I'm dead. My producer was told to air this video after my death." And he just thanked everybody, and you know, about the journey on YouTube and all the stuff that they've done, and you know, the awareness they brought to people and shit like that. But he's gone now. So.
Oh wow, wow, that's deep. He went out with a bang, pun intended.
Yeah, literally. The guy was an OG. He was an OG, absolute OG. Yes, sir.
Wow.
He's known for his using. He would set up his own ballistics tests by trying to recreate the human body using actual like beef ribs or
Meat
pork
or
ribs,
something.
and then behind it put a bag of oranges to simulate lungs. You know, all that shit. And he'd set it up with denim, and then test out the different calibers and show what they would do and everything like that.
Wow. Wow. I like that. Paul Harold. Yeah, I'm gonna check him out. Damn, that sucks. It sucks when you stumble on somebody coming, you know, you get interested in something and then you stumble upon their channel just a little bit too late. Like how many people come into the flat true earth and they stumble on, oh, Rob Skiba, and it's like he's gone, yo. He's gone. Like all that good stuff that you see from him.
Well, I've been watching Paul probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
I've been watching his videos about 5 years, and yeah, it's sad, you know, but I got a lot of good information out of that guy. Of course, I was born with gunpowder in my veins.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've been around. I can show you a picture of me in a onesie. I'm not even a year old, and my dad set me on a couch and propped a lever action rifle next to me.
Oh, like a Henry or something?
Big old 44 caliber revolver on my lap and shit. And I'm grinning big as shit. And he took that, and I got that picture. But the thing that's cool is I got both those guns still too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What kind of revolver is that one? Did he put a pistol or he put a revolver in your lap?
A revolver. A revolver.
Oh.
It was a 44 Colt.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty badass. And the other one was just, it was a lever action Ithaca.
Lever action. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never shot one of those. I've shot.
Yeah, I don't even know if Ithaca is still. I don't even know if Ithaca is still in business or not. To tell you the truth.
Huh. Yeah. I like the lever action. Yeah, I like the lever actions.
I got everything. I got everything from a little tiny hooker gun.
Yeah, look at that. Grandma's little purse guns.
Yeah. Little 25 Saturday night special.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
The old classic 38 special.
Yeah. Is that a Taurus?
Yes.
Yeah, Taurus
ultralight 5-shot. It's
Taurus is no joke, man, when it comes to the revolvers, especially like the Judge.
Yeah. It's got the Hillary hole back here on the hammer. That's what we call that. And that's because the Taurus comes with a little key.
Yeah.
That you can put it in there and you turn it and it'll make the hammer not work.
Okay.
I can't think of a more useless fucking thing in my entire if I tried. Hang on, Mr. Intruder. Let me find that little key.
Where's my key at? Don't worry. Once I find that key, you a dead man.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much, you know, they didn't have to lock up guns in my house or anything when I was growing up. I mean, the rule was pretty simple. Don't fuck with her. I'll break your arm. Okay. And you knew he meant it, you know, and exactly. I was taught early, you know, shooting, what they can do, and taught respect for what they can do.
Yes. And that's the thing. I mean, thank goodness that I get to kind of leave my, you know, I'm on my own. I don't have my kids around here all the time. So it's like I get to leave my guns around. And I live in such a densely wooded environment that I could just step out on my balcony in my bathrobe and stuff, and I could just light the place up. I feel like it. I'm like, man, I just take a deep breath and just be like, man, this is what America's all about. This is what, and I feel bad for the people in New York that can't do it.
Yep.
I'm like, you live
and, you
in
know,
that.
And it's because they've been brainwashed. They're scared, right? Yeah. Ooh, scary black rifle. You show them an AR. Like I got one that's decked out. I got one that's totally tacked out, man. It'd blow your mind to see it. They, you know, oh my God, what do you got that for? You know, and it's like, yeah, it's because I don't fuck around. That's why.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
I could show them my Mini 14, and they go, oh yeah, that's nice. And I'm like, it's the same fucking gun. It's the
Yep.
same fucking gun, same round, everything. It just because it's got wood, because it's got a wooden stock on it and everything. That's what you think. That's it. That's it. Now it's
The
not
thing,
scary, right?
man, the thing I love, especially when the Europeans, like the Germans, come around, they're like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why you need guns. Like, oh, that's why you live in Germany.
Right.
They're like, and I'm surprised you don't understand why we need guns. You living in Germany, but it's
No
like,
shit.
do you like they don't understand, and it's like,
Yep.
man, I wish I was as naive and blind to life as you were. I wish
Right.
I
Right.
So my a bunch of people from New York that I know, I'm not even going to name their names, say the same thing. They're like, why do you always have to show these guns? Like, what's up with you and guns? And I'm like, it's not about the guns. I mean, somebody could come here and I'd be caught unaware and they'd get me. That's life. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
straight up. I'm an ammo sexual.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And it's like there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself, and there's nothing wrong
No.
with being ready. Like you're just being ready. That's all.
Yeah.
So when these people live in these nice dwellings and houses in New York, and then they're like, well, I've got ADT and I've got access to the police. And I'm like, do you know that there are criminals out there that come to your house and they know that you're not ready, or they're assuming, and it's a pretty good assumption that you're not ready. You just being from New York in the
Hey,
city.
you go ahead and call 911. I'm going to call 1911.
Yeah, right.
And you get through it better, right?
Exactly. Yep. I like that. I'm gonna call 1911. Yeah, and
Got
I'll handle
another
it
one.
my
I got
way.
one of them too. I got and inspired by a movie is why I got the brand too.
The 1911 is
I got a
that's the spring.
Kimber.
You got a Springfield? Oh
No, I got a Kimber.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Kimber 1911.
Yeah, man.
Wow. I've got one that's trying to be a 1911. It's a Taurus though.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I
I was
mean,
like,
I about what was it? I think maybe 3-4 years ago when I bought that 1911, it was like I'm wanting to say 750 retail. I know it's well over $1,000.
I was gonna say it's probably like close to 15 now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Dang.
I don't know. I haven't bought any. I don't have anywhere to put any new guns. So
That's like
I'm
grandpa's.
kind of
The
looking to stay away.
1911's like grandpa's gun.
Yeah.
That's like grandpa's gun.
It won 2 world wars, I'll tell
Yeah,
you
right.
what.
Man, boy, that thing ain't no joke. And Mr. Super Sidewinder's got a 19. My 1911.
Oh, an Ithaca. An Ithaca.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Holy smoke.
Do you
Yeah,
know
man.
if they're still in business, Sidewinder?
Sidewinder, yeah. Just go ahead and answer that if you can.
I'm just curious. I'm sitting right here at a computer. I could look it up.
It can fire 3 different calibers. What? His 1911? What?
How do you do that?
Yeah, they didn't. Back then it was 40. It was 45. Probably like 44. Yeah, like a lot of the standard bullets, they didn't, and 30. Like they didn't have
It's a good looking pistol. Same kind of trigger as I got on mine.
3 different calibers. The hell?
Oh, they are still in yeah, listen, the Ithaca's price range for that pistol now is $15.99 to $23.99.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Double the amount. My goodness, man.
Let me see what mine's going for. I have a shooter's Bible, but it's over in one of my bookcases. Let me see here.
Now,
they'll have shooter's Bible online now, so probably.
Really, the shooter's Bible. Oh, so it like breaks down the calibers and everything else? Or?
No, it keeps up with current pricing and value.
So it's like a Kelly's. It's like a Kelly's Blue Book.
Yeah.
For guns.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he don't know.
TLE. Let's see what we got.
45. And it's a Corbin 400 barrel heavy Jesus 22 long range version at the top.
Now see, why did it give me a value on that Ithaca and I can't get one on this because of Google?
8 shots and then a bunch of what sounded like machine gun or some sort of automatic. What was it? Like some Uzi? Where you live at, Subi? Ratio? Shit. I have a Corbin.
What was that one I saw? That Diamondback?
Oh, Diamondback's an up and coming one.
That was a sweet looking pistol, I'll tell you what, man.
Was it those pistol rifles or was it the
No, it was a
small
1911.
9mm?
It was
a 1911 by
45.
Diamondback.
Yeah.
Really?
Let's see. I got to enter my birthday. All right.
Where you at? Guns.com?
No, I'm over on Kimber's website.
Yeah, man. Like Diamondback's been coming up lately, and they've been coming up with some real good damn handguns. They've got this 9mm that's like yay big.
Yeah, the Raptor. That's a nice one too. The Raptor, Kimber Raptor. I'm wanting to find. I'll find the damn thing. There it is. LW.
Mike. I've never shot a 10mm. Never shot a 10.
Like 40. It's like a 40 cal.
Yeah. How much are the rounds?
I don't know. I don't see them as often as I do. And there again, I go with availability of ammunition too, is when I'm deciding something to get, unless it's something really special.
Right.
Something really special. Then I'm looking
like
different.
9mm is a no-brainer. 5.56 is a no-brainer. So one that's surprising to me is 38. 38 looks like it's starting to come up in price.
Let's see. Yeah, it's up to about $1,500 now too.
Jeez.
Minus. Damn. It's a damn nice pistol too. The machining on it is what's so impressive. A lot of times there's just like a slight little, you can feel a little bit of play in the slide, right? This thing, there is no play in anything. It is just like, it's
like the Germans made it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Trigger pressure on it too was lighter than what I expected too. I set up, those little canisters you get of propane for your camp stove, the little green ones, little Coleman ones, right?
Did you fill one up and then?
When they're empty, they're not really empty. But so I had a couple of those, and I said, "Well, let's try this puppy out." And I set it up maybe about 30 yards away, and in the woods on a log, and I walked back out into the driveway. I drew up on that thing, and that went off. I didn't expect it to. I was still drawing a bead, and I was right on it, and the pop. And I just saw this huge, this like big fucking cloud of
fireball.
Snow. It was like snow. No, it was just it was cold. It was just cold, and there was this big, huge frost area on the ground around the thing after I shot it.
Oh, it released all that pressure in there.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
And I don't know where the damn thing went to. It went flying off into the woods. I never did find it again. I saw it in the air, but it had a hole in it about that big, flying through the air from what I could see. As it was doing its little thing. Yeah,
that sounds like a bonus point shot right there.
It was. I was like, not bad for the first shot out of my new gun.
Hell yeah, man. Ain't nothing wrong, man. Ain't nothing wrong with having these guns. Like, I think this craziness.
See this chain link right here?
Yeah.
My wife hit that with her AR at 100 yards.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Look at what that did to a chain link. What do you think it would do to somebody's ear?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think that round would do?
That was 100 yards. 100 yards.
And that thing was 150 yards, apparently they said.
Yeah.
Like 145, 150 yards. Yeah. What do you think that round would have done to somebody's ear? Yeah.
There's still copper that like I don't know how it's adhered to the thing too, where
it kind of like burrowed itself in and just melded itself into the chain link.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Nice. Damn. That's one thing I love about ARs, man, is that those things are dead on accurate. They
Well,
are
the Mini
so
14 makes it look like it's not worth a shit. I will tell you that the Mini 14 makes it, and you know, so that's saying something. I'm not degrading the AR at all. I'm
yeah.
just saying a Mini 14, a Ruger, that's yeah. It's all it is it's an M14.
Yeah.
But instead of being in 7.62, it's in 5.56.
I haven't heard too much about Ruger rifles, to be honest with you. Typically, it's like the Ruger pistol, like a 9mm. I don't hear too much about their rifles.
Oh, I got a few Rugers. I like them, man.
Really?
Yeah. I even in their 22s are awesome as shit too. I've got a Ruger Precision bolt action. I've got a tactical 1022, a PC Charger, a ranch style 1022, and then I've got an SR22 automatic pistol that they make.
Wow. Automatic pistol. Wow.
Well, it doesn't mean it's a machine gun pistol automatic.
Yeah, it's
yeah. I'm saying that for the benefit of the people out there, because a lot of people say, "Whoa, he's got a machine gun pistol." No. It's confusing, you know. It's like people don't know, like 30-06. Is 30-06 more than 30 caliber? No.
Man.
You know where the 06 comes from? Now, this is why firearms calibers and shit like that is confusing as hell. All right. It's a 30 caliber shell that was necked down and developed in the year 1906. So it's a 1906 30 caliber round. That's where 30-06 comes from.
I never knew that. I just know that it'll blow a beast out of a beast.
Yeah.
That's what they use to hunt.
It's 7.62 millimeter. It's all down into what the charge and the distribution of the pressure that you're doing. You know, you can get a different result even with a shorter barreled rifle. You're going to get less muzzle velocity. So, you know, that's all got to be taken into account. You need a certain amount of, when you start shortening the barrel, you reduce muzzle velocity.
Yes.
And accuracy.
You have to, and yes. And you have to be mindful of that. This is why a lot of folks are starting to go to the pistol rifles. And I'm like, looks nice, but what are you losing? You're probably losing some accuracy with that.
Right. Well, you by extending the barrel a bit, you gain some accuracy. You gain some muzzle velocity that way. When you're shorter little snub nose compact pistols and shit, you know, you're really, unless you're really taking aim, but in most encounter type things, I've seen videos of people standing not more than 10 feet from each other, shooting like a motherfucker and missing.
What?
Well, you got to think about it. You don't know really where that thing, you think it's pointed at the guy, but if you were to draw a line straight out from the muzzle to the guy, because it's so short, it's like cocked over a little bit. You draw that line out, by the time it gets to that distance, you're like 1.5 feet off.
Oh, wow. Wow. I never.
And a lot of people, they always say, you'll see them, I can tell them, I'll say, "Oh, that's a nice pistol. You fired it yet?" And they're going, "Yeah." And I'll look at it and I see where they've adjusted the sights over to one side. And I said, "Why did you adjust your sights over to one side? Shoot crooked?" He goes, "Always," and this is always the thing, "always seems to shoot low and left." And I'm like, "Come with me. I'm going to teach you how to shoot a pistol properly, and you won't ever have that problem again." Yeah, I learned how to shoot a pistol from Navy SEAL. And I wasn't in the Navy SEAL, but I learned from a Navy SEAL. And there's a real couple little tricks that go to it. Learning how to blur your target and focus on your sight and your and consciousness of your grip. Because if you don't have a tight grip, as soon as you squeeze the trigger, if you watch slowly, hold a pistol and watch slowly as you pull on the trigger, you'll see it go low and left,
Yep.
low and
It's
left.
gonna
It's going to
just
follow
slightly.
it's going to follow that force right there. So that's
Mhm.
what causes it always to do that. So they just compensate by moving the sight. And I'm like, no, learn how to shoot it properly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's amazing. Like I read even from Dick Marcinko when he made Red Cell, the Rogue Warrior series.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, Dick Marcinko. I think he died last year. It was last year, 2 years ago. But when he wrote or when he was putting together SEAL Team 6, he spoke about their workout regimen. And he said he would take a day, like a Monday, right? And he would go in the calendar. So let me show you. One would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right? And it would look like this. Hopefully you guys could see it. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And what he would do is he would divide each day. Each calendar day was like 4 days in one day. And I was like, wow. And a lot of times he would do like training and it would look like this. It would be Monday, Monday, 4 sessions, Tuesday, 4 sessions, Wednesday, 4 sessions. And it would be stuff like driving and shooting. But their target wasn't something like this. Their target would be something like this. And it would be something in the middle of this target. So it wasn't like the whole target was this. It would be like a small shooting
Right.
I driving. And that's what they had to get. And he said the way they trained over and over, day in, day out.
Do they have to calculate Coriolis while they're doing that?
Yeah, right. They got to take into account. Well, based on the spin of the earth, we got a book for it and how to do it. But yeah, like the training, just the shooting that they did. And I do know that when they would come on board the boat, when they would get on the ship, the SEALs, like they had, and each time they had to shoot, they had ammo for days. And like they just walked around the ammo in their dang BDUs and stuff, just the pockets, just ammo, just boom, 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 just lighting their targets up, man. They had ammo for, and it's not like, well, it was semi organized, but I'm not saying that they were disorganized.
Well,
but
I got to tell you this: you get a little bit of different idea about it when you're paying for the ammunition yourself. I can tell you that much.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
That's why I take advantage. That's why you take advantage of those 22s. Take advantage of those 22s. It's cheap to shoot. It's the same skill set. It's the same skill set, man. Oh yeah. And then when it comes down to when it counts, you just pick up a bigger boy. That's all.
Yeah. And then you get used to it. Yeah, you get used to the noise. Like I've been firing for a while now without hearing protection. I'm not saying that you should do it. I'm not saying that. But you never know when you might not have time to shoot that thing. And it's gonna ring your ears up.
Get yourself those if you're at the range or shit like that though too.
No,
those the ones the electronic ones. Really? I got electronic earmuffs.
Right.
And I can hear you just as good as you hear me right here talking. As soon as a gunshot goes off, it blocks it out.
Wow. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they're really cool. You can get them for about $40.
Oh.
Not very expensive at all, man. And they're definitely worth it. And they even got a jack into it where you can even plug your radio. Like if you've got a communications device or some shit like that, you can actually plug that into there too. So you don't have the speaker noise. It's good tactically too.
Okay. I'm gonna check those out because typically when I'm shooting and I'm by myself and I'm just shooting, I'll just throw some foamies in. But every once in a while, I'm like, what if? And then like I have to take them out. Now I got to grin and bear it. And I'm real about it.
Right here. I got my earplug right here. All the time I got earplugs with me. I got a whole pack in my pocket. And you just take that
works too.
Yeah, man.
That works too.
What I used to do in the Army. They were more comfortable in those rubber fucking things they give you.
Yeah, you got to squeeze them and then they go too deep and you're like, you try to pick them out.
Yep, I just use filtered cigarette butts, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, but the foamies, man.
Well, they tell
You
us
walk around with
to
them.
overcome, adapt, and improvise, right?
Yep. But in real life, man, look, God forbid something happen.
Oh,
and then
God,
you gotta
there's
light
a
some.
lot of people in trouble, man. A lot of people in
And
trouble.
then you're shooting in the house. God, it's so noisy inside of a space shooting.
Oh my God,
it's crazy.
Right back. I'll show you something. This is a good example. Let me just show you something.
Build the roads. What we got? Did the excavation, so I wish I've gotten to talk to him about that. It's a lot. Tall order. Let's order on that one. Yeah, man. What a night. What time it is? Good Lord have mercy. It's 2:30 in the morning in New York. Jeez, boy. 2:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, y'all. Know what I'm saying? So it's pretty late, but it's all good. We press on, y'all. We press. So we here. And it's Friday. It's the weekend. I ain't got work tomorrow. Whatever.
So I'll show you something here.
Okay,
so a lot of people, I'm going to turn off my backdrop for a second.
Take a sip of water real quick.
Okay, so a lot of people, they go, oh my God, look at that scary. Look how scary that is. Right?
That's 556, right?
556. Got a flashlight that I can control right from here.
Yeah.
I got a laser.
Did it come with the rail?
Yeah. Oh no. Actually, I put this quad rail on it.
Nice. Woo.
I put this is a quad rail. It's all on the handguard, and it's an ACOG sight. Right. Looks pretty scary. Pretty scary, right?
Oh.
All right. And here's one. Looks like you might go out and do some rabbit hunting with this or something, right?
Oh, it's got the bipod right there too.
Yeah, this is 5.56 millimeter too.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
This is actually more accurate than that rifle,
especially with the bipod. I'd imagine. Yeah.
This is a Ruger Mini 14.
Oh wow.
Yep, this is the Mini 14. This is exactly like the M14.
Yeah,
but it's chambered in 5.56. Got the same,
and I like the finish on it.
Yeah, it's got the same trapdoor bolt action as the M1 carbine. Actually, so.
Wow, that is nice. Wow, I've never
seen
most
people would just say, "Oh, this is just a rifle," no big deal, right? That one, the other one, this one, they'd be flipping their shit out of. And they're the same round.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. People.
Yeah, the black one looks a lot more imposing, though. It does. I could see why. They're like, man, that's a weapon of war. You're just going hunting for deer with that one.
It's just a gun. What you do with it is the deciding factor. Okay. Yes. So when people use the term gun violence, there's no such thing. It's violence. Okay, the gun didn't get up and do anything. It took a person to do it, unless, of course, it's a SIG. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God! Oh Lord, mercy! Those guys are catching a lot of hell, I'm sure, these days.
Well, I reckon I'd be kind of pissed if that happened with a pistol I had, and they're not cheap, And you're talking 6 hours, not a cheap pistol at all.
No, it's not. It's not. That's anytime I see somebody with a SIG, I'm like, man, they must be a real shooter, man. And they spending good money on pieces, on guns. A lot of times, you'll see guys like cops or retired military folks or out the military. Typically, your baby would be, at least I know, oftentimes people's baby would be like a Glock or something. That's like the standard for most folks. Me, I carry a I carry a Beretta, 9 mil.
This is a Bushmaster. It's going to really piss you off when I tell you how much I paid for it.
Ooh, oh, for a Bushmaster, those are they're usually pretty cheap.
I bought this one for $200.
Let me see. What you can wait?
That's the one I just showed you. That's the one I just showed you a minute ago. Same one.
Really? Wait,
yes.
When did you get this?
I bought it off of a guy who was really, really desperate for money.
$200.
Yeah, man. That was before they passed the law where you have to go through background checks to do personal sales.
Yeah. Oh.
I bought a lot of guns that way.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. And then everybody else lost their guns off of a boat, I'm sure.
Sure. I didn't lose shit off of a boat. You got to hide your guns. To me, that tells me it's time to use them.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Where's your gun, sir? It says right here. You're like, yeah, boating accident, man. It's.
You're like, hang on, I'll go get it for you. I'm gonna give it to you. Ammunition first. Here you go.
Ammo first. Yeah, right. And it says rethinking says so glad I had a Wyndham Weapons 450 thumper. Had to be in Ryan's mom's name. A felon when we split up 3 years ago. She sold that. And the shotgun and oh god. And see, this is what I think sucks with the country, man, is when you become a felon and then you can no longer bear arms. You don't have the right to bear arms, which I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like for instance, I had a non-violent felony on my record. And in the state where I got that, 3 years after you have served your sentence, paid all your fines, you don't have any probation or anything, 3 years from the time you're clear, if you've not gotten in any other trouble or anything, your rights are automatically restored.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's fair.
You
know
what we got to do, we look at a lot of things that they call felonies are victimless offenses. They're statute violations. They're not crimes.
Yes.
You see, and that's where the bullshit comes in. That's why we've got so many people incarcerated that don't belong there. They didn't create a victim. They didn't create a victim, you know?
Yep.
And that's the only time a crime has actually been committed is if you cause loss, injury, or harm to another.
Yep.
You know, and possessing a plant or a powder or any other goddamn thing is not harming anyone at all.
And that's how
it could harm you, but that's your choice. You can do that. You're allowed to smoke cigarettes. You're allowed to drink alcohol.
Yep.
You know, so I'm in charge of my safety. Exactly. So what's that all about, right?
And to add on to that, it's like there's so many people in jail for those kinds of crimes.
Yeah.
And they're considered, because they might have a certain amount of this plant, they are considered felons. And I'm like, but are they really a felon? I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, seriously, they're going to come out. They did their fucking time. They're going to get out. And then you're going to not grant them their right to fucking, because I was saying it's fair that you got your thing after 3 years, but I'm like, but like you said, it's a non-violent crime.
Right.
You're not out there stoning people or trying to harm people. You did what you did. You know,
the only kind of non-violent crime would be, I would say, probably theft. Okay.
But if you're involved in a theft and you got, there's a good chance that you would be ready to blaze on somebody so you don't.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Or, it's hard to say, but the bottom line is the idea where they got this. They have everybody conflating legal and lawful. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And legal is not always lawful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like we can even look at the history in our country. In the 1800s, it was perfectly legal for me to own another human being and subject them to servitude. However, that was unlawful. It was also perfectly lawful for me to try to free that man or woman from bondage, but it was illegal. So there's a case where man's legislation goes in direct violation of God's law.
That's right. And then we overlook it. Most of the time, we overlook it. And then we're like, well, that's perfectly fine. We've gotten to where there's so much shade of gray that we're like, oh, that's okay. It's legal, or it's all right. It's not against the law. And I'm like, no, it is against the law. And even though it's legal, like, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Like, for instance, right now, abortion is legal. Is it lawful? No. No, not at all. Woe be to those that would cause the little ones to stumble and fall. No, it's not lawful. Just because some dude in a marble palace writes some shit down on a piece of paper and gets his friends to agree with it doesn't make it right.
Bro, let me tell you what the other one, that woman, did that's running for president. When they had that Democratic National Convention, do you know what they did?
What's it?
They had an abortion car.
Oh, yeah.
They had an abortion car parked outside, so women could go in and get abortions. And
they also
guys
had a vasectomy. They had free vasectomy.
Yes. Oh my God. They had a vasectomy car so people could get their nuts split in half.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And I'm like, if God's gonna drop some of the firmament anywhere, he's gonna drop it on us. He's gonna drop it right there. He's getting ready to drop it.
Did you hear that Greg Locke, you know who that is, right?
Yeah, the pastor.
Greg Locke.
Yeah.
Somebody shot up his house, emptying an entire magazine, automatic fire on his house the other night.
Get the F out of here.
No, for real, dude. Let me see. I got it on Facebook, man. It was on his Facebook page. Let me see if I can find that.
Yo, after that debate, he's had nothing but some of the worst luck. Like, I'm not even trying to clown him or nothing like that. It's just like, I made a video on that before the debate that he had, or before the speak that he had with Pastor Dean Odell. Like, I was like, this is not going to turn out good. I was like, if you repent after this thing, that's cool, but he hasn't repented, man. And he's been having bad luck since. They burned 200 Bibles on Easter Sunday this past Easter at his church.
Here's the thing.
Let me see. All right.
So it says someone tried to assassinate Pastor Greg Locke and his entire family. He said, according to their surveillance cameras, they pulled into their driveway literally 1 minute after the shooter left. One of the kids were home at the time of the shooting. God protected them all. And here's the photographs from each one of those little yellow things is a shell casing.
Is a casing, right? I wonder what they shot it up with.
I don't know. I was trying to zoom in and see if I could tell and get an idea what the calibers were, but it's hard to see. And there's a lot of big shadows on it and stuff. Maybe I'll get deeper into it later. Right. But it wasn't small. I would have to say there's the back tailgate of a pickup truck with some bullet holes in it. There's a windshield.
Wow.
That was at least a 223 or higher.
Oh my gosh.
Could have even been in a 7.62. That could have even been an AK.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at those bullet casings. And through the headboard of his daughter's bed.
Oh no.
Look at that shit.
No. Is that a crib?
No, it's just a bed. That's just the headboard.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
I don't like what he did, but
no.
No.
So I don't know. Let me see if I can probably download this picture and zoom in on it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when I do that. Maybe I can tell what we've got going on here. Oh
my gosh. Pastor Greg Locke, man, he's been having some of the worst luck since that dang debate with Odell. Just not the best at all.
It's hard to see.
Yep. And yeah, she's pushing for it. I'm sorry, y'all. Like that woman that is running for office, you know, like I don't believe in either her or the other guy. I think they're both trash. I think they're both liars. But yeah, she's like all she could talk about is a woman's right to choose. She's
I
like,
know.
hey,
they're really hot to kill babies, man. They're really hot to kill. They're really hot to kill babies, man. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, like, and people can't see through the bullshit. People can't see.
It looks like to me, if that's what I'm seeing, I think it was an AK. I think it was an AK, judging by what I can tell. I mean, I can't really confirm, but I'm just trying to judge by the shell casing length, you know, and the thickness of them, and it does appear to be 7.62.
Damn. They don't want to use the American. They don't want to use them NATO rounds on home turf. So they want to use
expensive. Too damn expensive. You can buy a bunch of Tula 7.62 for fucking $50. You know, come on.
Like them NATO rounds, man. Especially the green tips. Hell no.
I got a whole case of those.
Oh man.
Yeah, bro.
Green tips ain't no joke.
I got a whole case of 7.62 green tips, bro.
Oh wow. And that's what, damn. Pastor Greg Locke, man, I just hope he's safe, man. I just hope he's safe and he's careful. He's still got a pretty big congregation. But after that stunt that he pulled, throwing the mic at Pastor Dean Odell, that was just a bad show of character right there. And I was like, this is not going to end well. It won't.
Nope.
That was just bad on him.
I got a piece of anodized aircraft aluminum.
Right.
It's like this thick. And I shot it at 75 yards with one of those green tips. And the bullet tip is sticking out the other side of it. And it's not even deformed. It's not even deformed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with aircraft aluminum that big, okay. So my first thought is the A-10, the damn tank buster. So I'm like, but that thing is designed with armor around it
and titanium. That pilot sits in like a titanium bathtub.
Cocoon. Yeah, like it's a bathtub, right? Okay. So he could, because I've seen those things come back from battle, and they come back with like one wing. Like Swiss cheese, and they're still flyable. And I'm like,
that's why they called him the Thunderbolt 2. The P-47 Thunderbolt in World War II was known to be able to do that too. It was just a hog, and it was a ground attack beast.
Yeah. And that thing slow as hell, but my God, the amount of firepower that thing provides.
The Avenger cannon.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? It's like a howitzer. Right? Or is that a howitzer, or is it a
it's a Gatling design. It's a Gatling design. It's a rotating barrel.
Right.
It's a rotating barrel, yeah.
And I hear when they're flying low and then they start to engage the enemy and they light it up with that cannon, that their plane kind of goes back a little bit. It's like,
and they get to breathe in all that, dust from the depleted uranium shells too that they fire out of that. 2.5 pound depleted uranium slugs, each one of those things.
Oh my God!
Pierce right through the armor of any tank, but at the expense of everybody around it, because you're breathing that fucking aerosolized depleted uranium. A lot of these guys are developing real bad problems health-wise as a result of that now.
There's a pilot.
Those are banned. You know, those are banned, and we just fucking filled the desert up with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's
all
a
these
pilot.
Iraqi kids are getting birth defects and shit because of it.
Jeez, man. I didn't even know it was that bad, but I do know there's a pilot just retired after 37 years of flying that plane. He just retired, I think, yesterday.
Wow.
37 years flying that bird. Probably going to die tomorrow.
Well,
mesothelioma like a motherfucker.
Oh my God. Yeah, they don't care. Have you heard there's a problem with the water at Camp Lejeune? Of course, everybody has.
Everybody.
God, how many times you gonna send me a fucking email about that shit? I was never there. Okay.
Camp Lejeune is like Flint, Michigan, Part 2. Yeah, I keep getting the emails. Hey, were you part of Camp Lejeune? And
I know,
it's
I
like,
do too.
huh?
Yeah, I get that shit all the time too, man.
Mr.
Like,
Super.
no, I'm not involved. I wasn't a Marine, man. I wasn't a Marine. It was a signal sissy.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, wait. Oh, you did. Were you sick?
Yeah, I was Signal Corps.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wait, so did you do Morse as well?
Yeah, man.
Shit. Wait.
It's 1 Alpha 4 Victor 9. Shit, I don't remember it for fuck now, but back then when I had to listen to it and shit, yeah, we didn't use it a lot. It was phasing out, using it out. It was I don't know why they selected me to go through it, and it put an expander on my MOS. It was what was I? It was 05 Charlie, and that gave me a 1 Alpha 4 denotation for being able to do the Morse code, but we never used it. I was radio teletype. Use the old Angry 106 transmitter.
Holy smoke. Okay. So you went, wait a minute. So because I know when I was in school, we went through school with Army guys at Corey Station.
Oh yeah, and I was at Fort Gordon.
You were in Georgia. Oh, the SIG hub. You were in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good old Augusta, Georgia. Good old Augusta. Georgia.
So you were at the place that I'm not going to say, but you were at that place. I know where you were. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Holy moly. Yeah, that's like part 2 of the original one that's right up north of us.
I was in a little place called Brems Barracks. I don't know if you've ever been to Fort Gordon, but the place was pretty much like a college campus, man. It really was. And the place where I was at was like fucking basic training all over. Open bay, fucking metal buildings with concrete floor with double rows of bunks going down each side of the middle aisle. They made us wax and buff a fucking concrete floor.
Bro, they treat they treat Army people like you guys ain't even human. They treat y'all bad.
A little place down at the end of the battalion by the PX called the Tiger Cage. And we'd go down there and just get fucking loaded on beer, man. I was having a great time, man. I was only 18 years old, man. It's like I can drink anywhere I fucking want to.
Hell yeah. Wow, yo. Oh, I didn't know you went up through the Fort Gordon ranks. That's what's up, man. I got a lot of my friends that are there right now. They're Navy though, so you know.
Oh yeah, they're over. Yeah, you guys, they had nice barracks there too, man. This is what blew me away is when I finally got my orders and I got shipped over to Germany, right? And I had to go to the 21st Replacement Battalion, waiting to get what unit I was going to be stationed at, right? And so we stayed in Air Force barracks. I was like, motherfucker, look at this. This is like an apartment, man. 2 people to a barracks room, carpeted floors, got its own fucking bathroom, wood bunk bed, for fuck's sake, man. I'm like, these guys style and shit. Me, I got this old rattly fucking metal wall locker and shit, and hard floors and some creaky ass goddamn metal bed.
Man, the Air Force, did you know that the Air Force has to get paid extra? The Air Force has to get.
He's locked up on me again. God damn it. You're going to have to say everything over again. He's going to have to say everything over again. He's under
so
attack
the Air Force has to, they get paid extra because they live next to us. Did you know that?
No way.
Yeah, way. The Air Force gets paid extra money because it's like a hazardous duty pay just for living next to soldiers, Marines, and Navy and sailors.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Is Mr. Super Sidewinder in the house? What's going on, Mr. Super
What's
Sidewinder?
up, brother?
Welcome. All right.
How you doing, guys?
Welcome.
What's up,
All right.
man?
It's good to see you, man.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. And we
Can
can
you hear
hear
me?
Saab over there. Yeah, Saab over there hitting that hits with the bong right there. We have you, man. Oh, you froze up a little bit.
There he's back. He's moving around. He's
Yep.
got it.
You okay, man? This is Super Sidewinder. He's got my connection.
It's stuttering really bad. I'm going to give it a second to catch up, and then I'll drop out and come back in, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, when he does, I'm going to have to get rolling off of here. It's almost 3 o'clock. I need to go to fucking bed.
Yeah, it's that witching hour, man. It's within that time frame. Oh.
Is indeed. God, that fucking hit killed me, man. Ooh. Ah.
Ooh. Okay.
Let me tell you what I done the other day, man. I was going up to the store, and there's a Dollar General right before the grocery store parking lot, right? And I look, and there was about 5 fucking cop cars parked in there with their lights on. And you know how they do? They just park all different fucking ways and block up every goddamn thing, right?
Right.
So I went over. I was going to the Chinese restaurant to pick up some food, and I picked it up. Came back, and I pulled in there, and I parked. And God damn it, my phone didn't record. I thought I hit the button, and it didn't record. This would have been a great video.
Oh.
Then I walked up to him, and I said, "Hey." Cop turned around. I says, "Why y'all got to park like a bunch of fucking assholes all the time?" I said, "Why you block up the entire goddamn thing, you know, where people can't hardly get in here and shit? There's nowhere to fucking park because you all parked all stupid and shit."
Mm-hmm.
Hey, oh, it's for, you know, so you're interfering with our investigation. I said, your investigation's over there. Interference is a physical act, and you don't have any authority over me because I'm not under fucking arrest. So kiss my ass. I'm like, no. I says, now why you got to park like that? And the guy says, it's for officer safety. I says, how is this fucking safe? I says, you guys just come into some place, you park across 3 fucking parking spots, block up the fucking road. You ain't got no goddamn consideration for anybody else out here. And I says, and all I can see from it, I passed you and I come back. If there was a danger, you'd have already known it by now. You got them out of the car. What do you got? You got a young lady and her 2 kids. And you got to have 6 fucking cops up here for that. And it's, officer, what if that person had a gun? I said, well, what if they did?
That's why you guys got guns. Yeah.
I said, what if they did? People are allowed to have guns, aren't they?
These guys,
yeah,
man, they've been, I don't know. They have guns, but it's like, man, I don't know what it is. I hope the cops aren't thinking that they have to be enemies with the people that they're supposed to serve and protect, but that's what it's starting to look like.
The one little sawed-off fucker, he kept coming over and he's like, you know, you're interfering, you're in our scene. I said, what scene? Where's your scene? Where's your tape? I don't see any goddamn crime tape. Where's your scene? What are you talking about? I said, I'm wanting to know why you got to block up the entire fucking parking lot so you can fuck with somebody. That's all I'm at.
They're all programmed with all those little catchphrases, officer safety and all that crap.
What law is that? Officer safety. Sounds like cowardice to me.
Yeah,
what are you afraid of? Stand there with a utility belt, you got a gun, you got handcuffs, you got a taser, and you got a fucking chip on your shoulder, and you're the one that's fucking afraid?
Yeah, they're always afraid.
Yeah, those guys it's unbelievable. They're armed to the teeth. They got everything. They probably even have grenades for all we know. And then they're like, man, What if they had a gun? Like, man, you loaded, dude. You got everything. All you have to do is push L1 and fucking X, and then you could execute whatever the hell you want to do to somebody. Like,
we had
damn.
a couple of them going around through the neighborhood campaigning for the sheriff the last time there was an election.
Mm-hmm.
And these two big old fat sons of bitches come up to my fence there. And they were wearing these T-shirts with a sheriff badge on it, you know. Big old fat fuckers. And I said, I said, are you sheriff's deputies? And they said, yeah. I said, you got to be fucking shitting me. I said, when was the last time either one of you ever saw your dick? Come on, man. Didn't you have some kind of a physical fitness regimen that you're supposed to be in? Who the fuck are you going to catch?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so
they're not gonna chase
if you get hurt in a firefight, you get hurt in a gunfight, who's going to drag your fat ass out of there? Who's not me? Not me. I'm going to use you for cover.
They're going to shoot you in the back before they'll chase you. They don't have the energy to come chase you for anything.
You know.
Yep.
I don't have to now. They just shoot at people. So anyway, after it was done, he says, well, who are you voting for sheriff? I said, I ain't voting for anybody. I don't vote. That's an immoral act, man. Okay. I said, I don't need a motherfucker telling me what's right and what's wrong and what to do. And he said, okay. And they started walking away, and one turned around to me and he goes, all right, Mr. Kane, we'll be seeing you again. And I said, you better hope the fuck not.
Right.
I don't let them intimidate me, man. I'm not impressed with your clown outfit, man. It doesn't work on me.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. It's so.
And it's just fuck. And I was trying to talk. There's a local page on Facebook, and these people are like talking about how all these cops are pulling them over and trying to ID everybody. And I said, listen, and I put up a long post. I was like, look, you only have to ID if you're pulled over for doing some kind of a traffic infraction or something like that. You don't have to answer their fucking questions at all. They're not trying to be your friend. They're trying to get you to say something that they can fuck with you about. Okay.
Yep.
So you don't answer questions. You produce your ID. The people in the car with you do not have to produce an ID unless they are suspected of committing or having committed or about to commit a crime. You have to have reasonable articulable suspicion. Okay.
Clearly stated.
So I got these people coming back saying, well, why give them a hard time? I says, exercising your rights is not giving them a hard time. And by the end of it, I said, you people sound like you'd be comfortable living in North Korea. I cannot believe the level of holster sniffing and bootlicking that takes place amongst people.
Yeah.
What happened to our Miranda rights? I notice now whenever they arrest somebody, they're like, they go from you're detained to put your hands behind your back. There's no definition of what you're under arrest for. No. There's no definition like clarifying what rights that you have under this arrest. And the whole concept of detainment, we don't have any policies, procedures, acts, statutes, laws, nothing that allows anybody to detain you. It's either you're under arrest or you're free to go. There is no middle ground. Like, you got to stand here until we figure this out. No, you don't.
No, I don't have to help you with your fucking investigation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that includes giving you my name, giving you my identification, any of that shit. You go ahead. This crap about we got a call. Well, go talk to the motherfucker that called you. It wasn't me.
Yeah. And what's crazy is kind of like they shot that Air Force kid in Herbert Field up in Florida. That young black kid. They shot that dude. He came to his door. You know, he had a pistol on him. He was talking to his girlfriend. And then they didn't, nothing. As soon as he opens up the door, because the cop came pounding on his door, didn't announce himself, shot the kid, killed him, right on sight.
They're doing they're doing it to dogs now too. Like if the dog barks at them, they just shoot him.
Oh,
I mean, it's like just
you want to see a motherfucker go John Wick? Ooh, baby, man. You just even kick one of my fucking dogs, and I'm going to show you the goriest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life.
Let alone shoot your dog just because it was barking at them. They're trespassing on your property, and your dog isn't trying to bite them. It's just warning them, and they're going to shoot.
Oh, no.
Dude.
So I would immediately fucking retaliate. I guarantee you, I would immediately retaliate that.
So what confuses me is why. is why though? Are they trying to trigger the civilian population? Like why? I don't like. I'm still.
They're taking orders from somebody totally
I was
different
gonna
than what
say.
most people think. That's the number one thing. So
Yeah, and seeing that we were talking about a certain group of people, you know,
Yeah.
you have Israel coming in here, and
right.
they're
So,
telling or they're giving training to a lot of our law enforcement. And this is
Well, they're
something
sending
that,
a lot of law enforcement over to Israel for training.
right.
yeah, right,
What the hell is
right.
that about?
It's called Cloward and Piven training, and if they swear
What's that called?
Cloward
Oh,
and Piven. Cloward and Piven.
It's a
So
Cloward Piven strategy.
if they swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, but they also swear an oath to some foreign power, to to do what they're doing, then which one do they take seriously? Obviously not the Constitution. They're not doing anything by the Constitution. They don't acknowledge your rights.
Wow.
They want to believe that they have rights. So every cop wants to feel protected in his own home, like he has rights there. But he can't if he doesn't appreciate other people's rights.
Well, the bottom line is
work
this:
like
when
that.
you take off your clown suit, that's when you have rights. When you put your clown suit on, that's when you have duties. You don't have rights anymore. You have duties. You're now my servant. You work for me.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, I guess you can also argue. You can also argue even when they take their uniform off, they're still our servants, because aren't you supposed to, kind of like when we were in the military?
Yeah.
Aren't we on duty for 24 hours?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
We're always on watch.
Always on watch.
Even as just a citizen militia, you're always on watch.
You are always on watch.
Yeah, there's never a day off.
Because I remember when I was out of uniform and then I grew a beard because I was on leave. They're like, "Hey, shipmate, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm on leave." They're like, "But you're growing a beard?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on leave." They're like, "You're on watch though." And I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh Lord, have mercy." I mean, technically, yeah, they're right. But it's like, you know what? Within that, even though I'm on leave and I'm totally outside of where I work and I'm in New York or whatever, I can't have this during that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the military. I can't do whatever the hell I want to do. I can't smoke herb. I can't do all this stuff that I'd probably love to do, but I can't do it. I'm still on watch. These cops fall under that same set of rules to some degree.
Well,
I don't know.
People don't realize, like when you look at citizens arrest, right? We all have the power to arrest somebody. You have to know what the requirements are, but it's not that complicated. You have to not know the person. You have to believe that what you've just witnessed them do would incur a 5-year or greater sentence. That's left to your imagination. You can guess and be wildly wrong, but that's one of the requirements.
5 years, really?
You remember when you remember on that episode of Andy Griffith when Gomer found out about citizens arrest? He was just arresting everybody. Yeah. Citizens arrest, citizens arrest.
He got Barney for doing a U-turn.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So Ironworks, I wanted to show you this cartridge that we brought up. I don't know where I got to hold it for you to see it, or if you can.
Bring it up a little bit more.
Is that a 25?
What is that?
This is a 400 core bond that we talked about.
You were just talking about that.
Yeah, so this is it's basically the same size as a 45 ACP case, but it's not a standard ACP case because it's a lot.
Put it up again. Put it up again.
Yeah, bring it up. Bring it up.
It's got a lot thicker brass in the tail.
Oh yeah, you got it's neck down. So it's
neck
from
down to
45 to a 40.
To a 40, yeah, 10 millimeter, 40 caliber. Yep. And it's charged to more than twice the pressure. So like a normal 45 is 10,000 to 11,000 psi coming out of the barrel. These are 25,000.
Oh, PSI. So it would destroy my gun.
Well, no, because see, like when you're replacing a 45 caliber barrel with a 40 caliber barrel, you're putting in a thicker barrel, so it's containing that pressure. Okay. But what changes is the spring pressure. So the standard spring in 1911 is anywhere from 11 to 18 pounds, depending on how hot the rounds are. Mm-hmm. you got to put a much heavier spring in. I got a 28-pound spring in my 1911, so it takes a good grip to rack the slide.
Yeah.
So,
but man, I tell you what, these things are nasty rounds.
I was gonna say, is that a practice round or is that a hollow tip?
No, these are expensive hollow points. I've also got them in what they call
I didn't
power
see
ball.
that.
So
You
it's a
see how
wide
he's
mouth
got that?
hollow point, but it's got a round ball half stuck in it, so it'll cut through fabric.
So you
Now,
don't.
put yours back up there, Sidewinder. Okay, there you go. You see how his is crimped down. He's got the same diameter as I've got at the back end of this shell right here. Okay. But his crimps down and it goes down and takes off 0.05.
Yeah, exactly.
Inch.
Yeah.
That's how it's so the bullet goes down to 40, but you've got the charge power of a 45 behind it.
Actually, it's double the charge power. I was just telling them when you walked
Yeah.
away, it's 11,000 psi is kind of the standard pressure for
45
ACP, 45 ACP. These are charged to 25,000 psi.
Jesus.
They're hot, dude. Real hot.
Yeah.
They're expensive. They're not something you want to plink with. I carry them when I'm, carrying my weapon for self-defense, but I plink with my ACPs or my 22 LR.
Yeah, you killing zombies with that.
Yeah, dude, these are nasty.
This is my Kimber.
Damn, that's beautiful. I love that trigger too. Kimber tends to do that with their triggers. I like that.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then this is
That's
actually
for weddings.
my preferred carry is this little tiny Beretta Bobcat.
Yeah.
21
Oh, nice.
Dude.
What size is that?
This is a 22 LR, but it's super fast cycling.
Is that the one that's got like a little trap door?
It's got
top?
the flip top barrel.
Yeah. My dad had one of those, man. Those are sweet.
I've got a Beretta. Yeah, I carry a Beretta too.
Ooh,
man, that's pretty
nice. That's a solid. It's got like everything about this is like a 1911, except for it doesn't have an extractor. So if you have a jam or whatever, you've got to flip the barrel. You just have to get used to working with this barrel flip thing rather than racking the slide because it's not going to pull a chain around out. So it's a little different to handle, but when you get used to them, man, I tell you what, the whole thing is like so small it'll fit or hide in your hand.
Uh-huh.
How
many does it hold? How many rounds does that hold?
8 rounds, and I can dump 8 rounds in under 2 seconds.
My God.
That's a fast pistol.
That's all you need. If it's 2 people.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, 4
all they need to do is see it, but man, that's plenty right there.
Yeah,
check it out, guys. I got to roll off here. It is exactly the witching hour, 3:15. I'm going to go.
Boy.
Thanks for having me on tonight, Ironworks.
Hey,
I'll see you next time.
Saab, it's a pleasure. And family, I agree. It is that time. It is 3:15. And so, it's like closing time over here in Ironworks 92,000. Saab, I appreciate
time. I know who I want to be.
Hey, I have something else right here I could show you real fast, man.
Real quick.
This is real,
before you get off, Saab, because I'm about to lock it up, so we could all get off in unison. What you got, Mr. Super?
30 seconds, but I build custom air rifles and pistols.
Oh, nice.
This one is a 1377 that has had like almost everything replaced. It's got hydrographics, like a carbon fiber, power adjuster.
It's not no piston. BS air rifle. Okay, this is the real varmints with that.
Steel breech, stainless steel safety, and 2-stage trigger shoe, fiber optic sights.
I used to have a Feinwerk rifle.
It's a pneumatic pump.
Yeah.
Nice.
I used to have a Feinwerk bow competition air rifle.
Yeah,
it's German
air rifles, man. They're nice.
177.
Yep, that's what this is.
Now they make a gun, a 177. And boy, is that a little shit ass round, boy. That thing tears some shit up.
The rimfires, the 17 HMRs.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's a rimfire?
Yeah, I have a Savage 17 HMR with a bull barrel, stainless steel bull barrel. Man, that thing will stack rounds on top of each other at 150 yards.
Yeah, real accurate. Interesting thing too. I shot through a penny with one, and
from how far?
About 60 yards.
That's pretty damn good.
About 60 yards. And the thing was that was funny about the penny when I hit it was that the pucker and everything was on the side of the penny that was hit. And it left quite it was a mystery to me at first. And then my dad and I started discussing, we figured out what had happened. Was that when it went and hit that thing, the bullet didn't actually transfer through. What happened was it came back, but the work hardening of that metal moving that quick like that and springing back busted it out the other way.
Oh, so it's like, wait, so it did penetrate it all the way, yes?
It penetrated it, but it caused the metal to snap
Flip
back.
back.
It snapped back, right?
Well,
So
yeah.
it's like it's like a Venturi effect, I guess, to some degree. Wow.
Yeah, because they're fast rounds. They're like a 30-06. They're 2750 feet per second, 2550 depending on the rounds.
Damn, are you serious?
And I can, if I shoot a dollar bill from 100 yards with a 17 HMR, it'll take out the entire portrait. The whole signet will be gone.
Mm-hmm.
It just shatters it.
Oh my gosh. I did not know those things were that.
Yeah, it's
damn
amazing.
They're
little
hot.
round,
17 HMR. Look at it. It's the hottest rimfire cartridge going, man.
Make sure I check those out.
All right, guys.
All right,
go.
family.
See you next
All right,
time, guys.
Sav, peace, brother. Thanks for being on. Mr. Super, thank you for being on as well. It is closing time in Ironwork 92,000, and it's good to have you, Mr. Super Sidewinder.
Thank you for having me on, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man. Anytime. And anytime I see you, man, I'm going to drop that link, man. Let you come on in. It was good having you.
Yeah,
and family, hey, we had this is our first Flat Earth Friday here in Ironwork 92,000's house. Live music. I see you, brother. I see you. And Raleigh Studios, I see you too. Subi Ratio, I see you as well. This is like an episode of Romper Room towards the end over here, where I'm saying it was up to everybody. Roger Ledwell, what's happening, brother? I see you, man. Eyes on you. So eyes on the family in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying my respects to the family. Sketches. What's going on? I ain't never seen you, but I got my eyes on you.
Maria
You know what
Walker.
I'm saying? Maria Walker, always a pleasure having Maria Walker. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure having Jehovah's daughter. Roger, Rethink Inc. You know, we go down Scott Level Realm. What's going on, homie? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. It's good to see you guys coming into the house. Coming in, man, doing y'all's thing, hearing us cut it up a little bit. Mr. Jones, it's always a pleasure having Mr. Jones in the house, man.
Scott's one of my musical brothers. We've made music songs together.
Scott Level Realm. Scott Level Realm. Okay, nice.
He's a drummer and more.
Okay. All right. And Sav plays the acoustic guitar. What do you play?
Yeah. Well, I play about 15 different instruments.
Okay. All right.
I'm known for harmonica mostly.
The harmonica, you need the harmonica for sure.
Yeah.
I play a little bit of piano and a little bit of alto sax.
Oh man, we got a lot to talk about. I'll see you soon, man.
All right, man. Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to see you, man.
All right, bro.
But man, and down the line, family. I love you guys. You guys have been amazing tonight, but can't go all the way up. But I'd love to though. But for everybody that came here and joined us tonight, man, I thank you for joining us on our first Flat Earth Friday here at Ironwork 92,000. Thank you for making this night special. And there are going to be many to come. There will be many to come. I can promise you that. Anyway, family, I'm going to leave you guys with my blessing. Tune in. Don't forget to tune in on Tuesday. And don't forget to check out those links that we dropped. And also, definitely check out No Longer on the Balls wiki link. You know what I'm saying? The Flat Earth Wiki or the True Earth Wiki. You understand what I'm saying? So check that out. It's a very, very good and amazing tool. And if there's anything that you think you can add to it, make sure you link up into that site. All right, family, I'm going to give you my blessing. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity. Do not forget to join us on True Earth Tuesday this Tuesday. I'll be there. You don't be square or don't be flat. Anyway, love, joy, prosperity, but wisdom.
Yeah.
And with that, I love you guys. I'm out. Peace.